just in case.
So Jen was asking about
what's the difference? Why would you have the torch versus the soft flame? Like you're still lighting the surface area of the cigar. So
is there
it actually is on the back.
Butthole.
There is a butthole.
Hold on. This not only has a butthole, but it actually has a little area here where the freaking device goes in. So when you're pumping away, it'll freaking bah.
The sheep is so tiny. I was shocked.
Look.
Oh no.
It is Easter.
Oh, sorry.
So, lamb, sheep.
You guys are so welcome for that.
Oh, thank you, Jess.
You're
it was an awesome purchase. I'm so glad you guys bought this for us. Always make good friends.
I know it's gonna be on the freaking promo.
You bet your ass about that.
I didn't think it was going to be that tiny.
Same here. When I took it out of the package, I was happy to see it was completely sealed, and even the little noise box still had the tab that you have to pull to make the sound go, like on normal toys.
Were you expecting a life-size sheep, Jess?
I did think it would be actual.
What were you expecting,
sheep.
really?
I mean,
like a bigger than like a.
You
like
seem very disappointed that the sex sheep is small.
Yeah.
Would you have been happier if it was bigger?
I thought it'd be bigger.
I'm not gonna lie. We've gotten like
dildos
donated at Goodwill bigger than that sheep. Okay.
Did you bring those home, and who'd you send them to?
No. Honestly,
they're in a nightstand.
I'm gonna say something that will probably maybe at some point get me in trouble. I don't know. So we never knew what to do with some of the stuff we got donated at Goodwill. So we always used to send it to our shop Goodwill. And so occasionally we would like shove it in. We have to send Legos, like big containers of Legos. We start collecting them and we sell them by the lot. So we would shove them in the Legos and send them to Shop Goodwill. And then apparently they had to send out an email saying no more sex toys to shop because obviously
so kids are going through the Legos.
Some mom buys a fucking lot of Legos.
I thought they separated them.
Some kid digs in to build himself a freaking fire truck and finds a freaking 12-inch dangly dildo.
Yeah, well, we thought we were being funny, like, haha, the person who has to
real funny.
Legos.
Yeah,
we thought an adult that goes through all of the shop was, putting these into lots. Well, apparently they weren't checking.
And the kids don't make any, don't know, so they built their fire truck with a ladder.
Big hose.
Hey, Mom, where does this go on my fire truck? And oh my God.
The craziest thing we get is, we literally get, like, the handcuffs, the whips, you name it. There is, like, either sex worker going out of business.
Why does my hose have veins, Mom?
Yeah.
So, we had, there was just a letter. Didn't call out anyone in particular or store, just said, please stop sending these, adult items to shop.
It's not a Cracker Jack box.
Now we got to throw them in the trash. So when that sheep thing came in, it was brand new. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
It's pretty funny. I was surprised how small it was.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be life size.
I've never seen one, and it's like blowing up a balloon. It's very small. I don't know. I
only wanted to see what Kevin's going to do with that. It's very small. But I can tell you,
it'll make for a great trailer.
Gears.
We better,
I can just hear him right
we
now.
better get a
Let's
lot
just
of
do
views
our
with
freaking
this
intro
one.
now before this whole fucking intro is about how small my penis is and I fuck baby sheeps.
If we get banned from Facebook, this will be the episode.
I know this will be it.
With that being said, I'm Kevin.
Good.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr.
I'm Jen.
And we are
the Broadleaf
Bullies.
Oh, God.
We talk. You listen. We're the Broadleaf Bullies. And here's your hosts, Kev, Kerr, Jessie, and Jen.
All right, we are live. We are back, not live, but we are back.
We are back.
The bullies. Oh man,
in rare form tonight.
I swear to God.
On Pi Day, 3.14 day.
So let's get back to Jen's question. I feel like Jen really
I
wants to
just
know
feel
the
like
question.
Kevin wants to answer.
No.
Well, go ahead. I digress.
No,
But if you're lighting
Kerr
a
would be-
cigar and you need to light the surface area, and obviously you do want it even. I understand that, the science behind it. I would think a torch would make it burn and light faster, and you wouldn't want that because that would change the integrity of the cigar. So why does one choose a soft flame versus a torch? Like, I've seen the torches you have, and it's like a freaking flamethrower.
It is. And what's funny is Kevin wants to answer this question, and Jess was saying about how light the cigar the way you want to, yet Kevin started off with, he's watched me light my cigar with
I know.
a
So
criticizing
he wants
eye.
to criticize. He's ready. He
But-
can't wait to say.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think the torch lighter was really, I don't want to say it was invented. Probably going to make this shit up, but whatever. But it's like a great freaking torch when you're golfing or when you're outside and the wind's blowing. It lights a cigar where the freaking soft or matches will go out and like a soft flame goes out. The torch is like,
I
will
can
frickin'
understand
light
that.
it
Like, I used to
in a
be a
monsoon.
cigarette smoker, and when you're outside and trying to huddle to light the cigarette, and because the flame keeps going out or match.
Kevin probably
Can
knows
I-
everything
I
about
Can
don't.
I
this.
say
I
something before
don't
you
know.
answer,
Yeah. No,
though?
I don't know. Yeah.
I like a torch because you don't have to hold it to the cigar. I mean, you can still hold it kind of far away, so it's still doing the same effect as a soft flame.
I think with a soft flame, what happens is this.
I mean, you
It's
don't
like-
have to have it that close.
It's like with this, right? You don't have to have it that close, and you want to make sure that you're evenly lighting
Yeah.
the surface. With a soft flame, like a regular lighter, you have to hold it that long that metal heats up and burns the shit out of your finger.
Okay.
Especially
Yeah.
if you have a big ring gauge. So if you're sitting there with a lighter, like a traditional, roll lighter, that's going to get really, really hot.
Yeah,
but-
That makes
I
sense.
agree.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my only, I like Kerr said when he's holding the lighter out, like on the single flame, I like that you can paint your cigar.
Yeah.
So you can be so if you light your cigar and you got like one little corner that's not lit, I like
Yeah.
a nice to where I can
You can just touch up
pinpoint.
that area.
Did I pass
Yeah.
on my lighting?
Yeah, he looked good.
Okay.
So, but other than that, I think it's just
I mean, like this.
one where I don't think it really
I
makes a
agree with you because
difference.
if I use this, it's harder to touch up that little corner because then it kind of then
Yeah.
burns it more than you want it
It's
to.
like a triple flame will just fuck the whole side of the cigar up,
Yeah.
It can. Here's a quad flame from a Zycar. This thing is a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just preference. Kerr, you've probably, I mean, you've been smoking a lot longer than I have. I mean, you've probably seen like the last couple of years these triple and four flames. These have been just, I think
Blowing up.
they've blown up, and I think a lot of people are appreciating the smaller flames now. And
Yeah.
like I said, I think people are going back to a softer
But I mean,
flame.
at the end of the day, it's your cigar, it's your money,
Yeah.
what you want to do.
Yeah. I don't think there's any.
There's no
And
wrong
you-
way or right way
Yeah.
of doing
Right.
it. I mean, there's really, you're going to get a lot of shit, in some ways. But I think especially with some of these bigger, like the quad flames and the triple flames, when you have bigger ring gauges, it does make it easier to light it.
Oh,
Because
yeah. You got a
especially when you got-
660.
When
Yeah.
you got one of these, you're like, I feel like I'm freaking doing some sort of Adobe Illustrator, like trying to freaking
That's
delete
funny.
shit. But I can tell you, I mean, I've had a couple of, I had a, I won't mention the name, but I've had a couple of lighters that they just conk out. And my best lasting lighters were lighters I picked up for $15 and $10.
I agree, and I'll call out Zycar because I said I don't they don't sponsor me, but I've over in the last 2 years I've returned 30 lighters. I've got 3 more on the way back now, and you have to
lighters. That's just a pain in the ass.
and then when you honestly when you own a Zycar, you need to own 10 of them because when 5 of them break, it takes 6 months to get them back. So like my favorite one, my Zycar Tactical, it's actually my longest lasting one. 2 years I've had it. I've dropped it numerous times. It finally broke. and I'll be out of that lighter for 2 months before I get it back.
You just said it though. You've dropped it. So if that's what you're doing to other lighters too, you can't really get mad at Zycar if you're clumsy with your
And then the other ones
equipment.
the other ones just break.
That one's
that one's
not from you dropping them.
It's
No,
just that one
sometimes.
lighter,
Oh,
Jess.
sometimes.
Just that one.
No,
lighter.
he's talking about all these other lighters.
This-
So he
this-
never
this-
drops.
But he only
them.
no, he doesn't.
This crown head ones right here, I could run this over,
Yeah.
and this thing will still light.
Same thing.
And so I've got. Where's
So
my
Kevin's
like it has, like,
complaining,
a
but
iPod
yet
case
he
around
drops
it
the
or
shit out of
exact,
them.
they're the exact same one, but this is an Espinosa. I've dropped it 100 times where the top doesn't even snap on
No.
anymore. Still lights every damn.
This has been a
Did
good,
you ever stop
good
to
lighter.
think it be concerned that you're dropping that many lighters?
No.
Okay.
See, there you go. Case closed.
Okay.
But to your point, Kevin, I mean, this is a good lighter. In my opinion, I care more about what I'm using to cut my cigar than what I'm using to light my cigar.
Okay, so that was going to be my next thing was, like, obviously some people have preference on how they cut their cigar.
Preference is fine. If you want to use a guillotine, you want to use a V cutter, you want to do a hole puncher, you want to do a table. The thing is, it's got to be sharp and it's got to do the job the first time. In my opinion, I think that's more important than lighting it, because cutting it, if you got a sucky cutter, if you got a dull blade, if you got whatever, that will mangle. You just spent $20 for a cigar, you're gonna mangle the shit out of it.
Now,
I agree.
can
Which
you
will
actually
F up your smoking experience completely.
can you actually smoke a cigar without cutting it? Like, can it permeate the cap? That's the
No.
end,
No.
correct? With
No.
so you
I mean,
have
you would
cut
have
it.
to at least punch it.
Now there are a lot of guys. I said when I was with the guys last weekend over at Corona, they had just gotten back from and you can always tell the brand owners that just got back from the factory. And there was 2 brand owners and then a factory owner that was there. They pulled out the cigars and then they just went around the cap with their fingernail and then pulled it off. They didn't even cut it. And I'm like, oh, you guys just got back from the factory, because that's all they do. They don't have cutters in the factory.
Why don't they have cutters in the factory?
They just because they're I don't know if they just don't have them on them, but yeah, all the makers said there's no cutters in the factory. They all just use
So
their
they have a
fingernail.
super sharp fingernail.
Yeah.
They have
It's all old
a
school.
cigar nail.
Duncan
Oh,
always
yeah.
told me his dad would do that. Even I watch freaking Lars. He just bites the end off and smokes it.
Yeah.
It's and I remember Duncan talking about his father, and he's like, when you're out in the freaking countryside in Cuba, you don't have a fancy cutter or lighter. You cut it with whatever you have. That's what you do, and then you light it with a burning stick.
Yeah.
If a burning stick is handy, of course.
But yeah.
I mean, we've used a knife before.
Yeah, we've used that. We've been in the car and had to and then trying to peel it like an apple, trying to get it with a knife. But yeah, I'm staring at about 50 cigar cutters right there.
It's very sad.
And most of them have never been used, just use the
They're sharp.
I just love.
they are sharp.
I just like a V cut. For me,
Yeah.
like, not on everything though. Obviously, there's some cigars that just can't V cut.
I've been toying with a new cut that nobody's been done before.
Oh, nobody.
Nobody's ever cut a cigar
Never
this
been
way
done
before. Never been done, and I'm excited. I've mangled a few
Okay,
of
we'll be
them.
quiet.
So it's
Be quiet now.
Yeah.
To be announced.
To be
Yeah,
announced.
to be
Thanks for that,
announced.
Kevin.
yeah,
Yeah,
how to
good
cut.
job.
Little
how to cut.
spoiler.
I have this really cool way, but I'm not going to share it with you.
Yeah.
Well, if he shares it now, then someone else will say they did it.
Correct.
Yeah. I gotta wait till this. I gotta do it and then post
We
it.
don't want that happening.
Yeah, they'll still say they
It's
did
a
it.
little too old, but
Yeah.
I like the V cut too, Jess. Actually, the deep V, I do like that, I always
Now,
I go.
I was
with
gonna
it.
ask though, on a V cut though, what kind of cigars would you not V cut?
I V cut everything.
Yeah.
I try. I mean, for the most part, I smoke everything that can be V cut, but obviously, like some of the, novelty type cigars or different shape type cigars are hard to. But I noticed when
Like
I
ring
V,
gauge is going to affect it. I think if depends
Yes.
on the size
Oh,
of your cutter,
yeah.
the ring gauge is definitely
Right.
going to
but then
impact
also
it.
box cuts for me don't do well with a V cut.
Now, do they have a cutter where, because of the change in cigar size, it can change the diameter of the cut? Or is it just a matter of, because obviously it's
It all
Slicing
depends. It all
it.
depends on how big your hole is, Jen.
Yeah. See, right here is like this is the Zycar, and it's got a big hole in it, and then
You know how many times we're gonna hear the word hole?
yeah.
Hole. It's gonna be
But no, I know what
If
you're
you
talking
got a
about.
hole this big and my cigar is bigger, it's not fitting in your hole. It's got
But do they have adjustable?
No.
They don't have adjustable, but Kerr, you have a V cut there, don't you, Kerr? I mean, because that really is adjustable. Because
your
of
block one is.
I have a
Because-
block, but I can't. My other ones.
You have to have a cigar. It'd have to be no bigger than that.
It has
hole.
to, but that hole has to be a certain size.
yeah.
You know, if it's a 60 ring gauge hole,
Right.
and you can fit obviously anything there 60 ring gauge and below. No, I have the Calibri desk cutter. I love this thing.
Oh,
okay.
that's awesome.
Sliced his finger and all.
I did slice tip
Did
my
you?
finger off with it.
Yeah.
I did.
That's actually pretty sweet.
That was pretty bad, but
Mm-hmm.
it all depends on the hole. How big is your hole, and and can it accommodate the cigar?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Basically.
It's that simple.
That's it. So there is a brand new cutter that is coming out, and I can reveal the maker because he revealed it online, but I can't tell you about it. The makers at Cigar Medics that make the humidimeter.
There are two cutters that can accommodate beyond the hole, and it is it's a punch cut.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Punch cut. But even if you have a straight cutter, if you push the cigar in a little bit, if you push it in deeper, you can actually just slip the tip off.
Okay. Now, also too, it's important if you're not doing like a V cut and you're doing like a straight cut that you don't go so far over the little cap area.
Oh no, yeah. There's some people chop the shit out of a cigar.
Chop it off, and then it kind of, I feel like it unravels. It just ruins the structure of the cigar.
Ideally, when you cut that end, what's left should be able to float to the floor.
Yeah.
What's the other cutter, Kevin?
They've got a brand new cutter that they redesigned. That's never been out before. It's never made this style of cut. And it's kind of cool. There, I got a prototype coming. It's on its way.
What kind of cut is it? Is this another freaking?
It is a secret. He can't.
It's
say.
another secret.
Fuck, dude, that's twice.
It's like
It's
Five
okay. So they called it. Okay, so in that post they did call.
Why do you talk about things?
They did call it the melon ball. They did call it the melon baller.
Oh, well, then we can figure it out.
Is it going
from
to
there.
dig? Apparently.
Yeah, it's obviously going to scoop out some
Gonna scoop something
tobacco.
out.
We know what a melon baller is. Even I can
Luigi
figure that
posted
out.
it.
I don't care
Yeah.
who posted it. Just stop talking
Yes,
sometimes.
we're gonna stop talking about it.
He just needs to stop talking.
That's Kevin's response.
Cool.
Well, I can
Yeah.
figure that one out. Thank you.
So
Yeah, most people probably.
Well, I've
do
seen
that.
the ones now where it's like 3 freaking spikes.
that's dumb. That is
Why
dumb.
is
Like
that dumb?
pokes holes into it.
Why is it dumb?
Everybody
Does it
hates
just aerate it?
Does it not work?
it. It doesn't.
Why
Nobody,
wouldn't it?
Listen,
everybody says it doesn't
Who's
work.
everybody?
Everybody.
Brad
Have
Reed?
you ever tried it?
No.
Okay, have you ever tried it?
No, I wouldn't.
Then
Because
Well, if you-
everybody told me not to, Jess.
Yeah.
so if they told you to jump off a bridge, would you
yes.
care?
Fucking right, I would, and I have my sheep in hand.
So yeah, my boy Brad Reed. I saw Brad. Brad said it was fun.
He has the look.
There is one thing about that.
Oh my god.
The reason why I won't try it, and it's the reason why I don't do punch cut anymore, is because when you're smoking a cigar, some of the cigars, that tar can build up on the end.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and when you have a hole punch, it really does gather at the end. It gets nasty. And I
Yeah.
can imagine with these aerating tools around the end that it could probably make at least the last quarter of the cigar pretty nasty if that tar is actually building up in the tip of the cigar. That's my opinion.
Well, wouldn't the
I don't
saliva
really-
also affect it? Because you figure it's just aerating it, and look how soggy the end of the cigar gets just normally. So
Are you saying that I'm, or your
I
saliva or
swallow.
my saliva?
Yeah,
But
I see
don't
what you
like
mean,
it,
Jen. Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
really like a punch at all. Like I don't like the way the draw is,
because
or
there's
anything.
because nobody makes a razor sharp punch that lasts a long time, and then you end up cracking your cap.
Yeah, it's
You know,
it's. I was telling Kevin today. I stopped by a cigar shop when I went and got my new desk, and it's a shop that I stopped at before. That is the humidor is a hot mess, but if you dig, you can find some pretty cool shit. I found. Did you see that thing I showed you? I sent you a picture of was Christoph Cuba.
Oh yeah, I forgot to reply back. I was at work today, but yeah, we're that. Did you post that online? I mean, I'd like to know more about that cigar. I've never seen that.
Never seen it before. And then I picked.
One?
Yeah, and then I got a couple of Candelas that were buried.
Oh,
Just to see
by
what they're
who?
like. I don't
Who
know.
is the Candela?
Number 51.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it. It was not green. At least from the photo, it was not green anymore.
It was Candela-ish.
It was a hue of green. It was
aged.
It was like baby vomit Candela.
Yeah.
But I told Kevin I was in Jennifer's car and I didn't have a cutter. So if I don't have a cutter with me, what I'll do is I'll look for a pigtail so I can just break the top off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a Pissed Off Christoph, which is a great cigar.
Oh, those are so good. I almost smoked one yesterday.
The Pissed Off Christoph, because we did not like the Firecracker. We reviewed the Pissed Off Christoph Firecracker, and that was not a good cigar.
No, I think
it wasn't a terrible cigar. It just
his Sumatra.
It definitely wasn't
good.
It wasn't good, but I would revisit that cigar. I've only smoked it once,
I don't know if I've had the
I would probably smoke it.
I would been me because I bought more Pissed Off Christophs when I bought those Firecrackers.
Yeah,
I bought a couple of samplers, and that Firecracker was so bad. I haven't seen that. I haven't visited that cigar yet.
I know. I feel like I want to visit it though, because maybe at the time, who knows?
It depends on what your mood is or what's going on.
Yeah, and like what we were eating. I don't know. It was a while ago we smoked one of those, so.
I didn't like his. The only cigar I smoked by them that I did not like was the Sumatra.
Yeah.
I really did not like the flavor of it at all. I'm a big fan of the Christoph line.
Did it have a bitter taste?
It was just really nasty. It just had a bitter, nasty taste. I mean, and for me, even with Habanos, depends on the Habano. I'll smoke it. It'll have a flavor like I'm drinking spoiled milk through like in a leather glove.
Ew.
And I don't know what it is. It's just something about that, but I've had some Habanos that were like Amendola. They use Habanos. Fantastic cigars.
Honestly, when I smoked that cigar that they have, I was kind of hesitant because I usually get kind of almost a bitter taste, but there was no bitterness. It was so refreshing to have that.
A bitter taste from his old stuff to his new stuff?
Or just from, you know, the Habano in general.
Yeah, Habano in general. Like, I always feel like there's always like a bitter,
it's bitter.
Like initial, and it kind of sticks with you through the first part of the cigar, and it kind of almost is like, ugh. So when Amendola's new cigars,
they're
so good.
Yeah, their core line. I'm selling them now online as the We Are the Muscle sampler pack, and I gotta tell you, great cigars. And when he was telling me about the Habanos, I was like, like you, I don't know, go back and forth, but really just impressed with it. But I just the Pissed Off Christoph, I think is, in my opinion, I've had their line of cigars. I love that. It's a great cigar, man. Yeah. That is fantastic.
Well, Kevin's like, I'm in no rush.
What are we talking about tonight? Besides holes
in cigars.
Holes
in cigars. Well.
What's that song? That there's from your TikTok, and that some lady's like.
Oh, that was the Sarah Silverman song that she created. It's called "Fuck Me in the Ass for Jesus," and it was
Happy Easter.
Yeah.
She is such a talentless hack.
Yeah.
Oh
the only thing she's known for is fucking Jimmy Kimmel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She really is. I mean, I actually thought she was funny years ago, but she has turned into such a whiny, talentless hack. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I agree, but So Lars Teetons is making us a new song for our opener. That's what he said the other night.
Yes.
He did.
I gotta
say
hold
that.
him to it. He did say that.
Is it going to be somewhat PG? Just
Yeah,
curious.
yeah.
Don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
I just fucked a sheep at the beginning. You think that's a...
Yeah.
No, you did not. Don't say that. Kevin will use that everywhere.
So
you
fair
know
game.
what? Criticize me. I don't care. I'm sure we'll get a thumbs down or two.
Yeah.
All I can
we
say
get him
is,
anyway,
all I can
so
say
might
is
as
if
well
you're
make
gonna-
it worth
all I
it.
can say is if you're gonna do it, freaking put your name on there and say my name. Just fucking say it. Just say it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Like Sam
Yeah.
Kinison would say. Say it. Say it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just leave me a comment. My name is so and so, and I gave you the thumbs down.
Don't give me the cowardly thumbs down or the passive aggressive comment. And okay.
If I don't like something most of the time, sometimes I've given it a thumbs down, but for the most part, I just don't watch anymore.
You know what? If it's gonna warrant a thumbs down, I will click and move on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't get into the world of thumbs down. I'll give you a thumbs up. If I don't put a thumbs up, then that means I didn't like it.
Yeah,
But they'll never know, so who cares?
I'll thumbs down like some how-to videos. Like, listen, I just need you to teach me how to braise
Yeah,
this
but do you
copper
leave a
pipe
comment?
together. I don't need
Do
you.
you leave a comment?
Tell me your
Do you
backstory.
leave a comment?
No.
Okay.
Well, don't tell me that. Tell it when you put a fucking thumbs down, Kev.
Yeah,
I know.
I'll just thumbs
How
down.
else would they know what needs to be fixed or corrected?
Yeah,
Or what's
right.
wrong?
So for all those people who do a how-to video, if you got a thumbs down, Kevin's going to tell you why.
Yeah.
He should.
It's like just get to the point, Cletus. Teach me how to weld that pipe together.
I do that when I try and work on the car. I'll be like, okay, I want to figure this out. And I'm like, 10 minutes into it, I'm like, dude, get to the point. I want to replace a headlamp.
Do you, okay, so I am an ASE certified technician. I know cars. If people realize how many times us mechanics had to YouTube something, it is just because sometimes like the book, like I was removing a component yesterday, and then like the we have these manuals that our company pays millions of dollars for, and it'll just be like remove the air filter, remove the belt, remove the alternator from vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Installation is opposite of removal. You didn't tell me anything. Like others, I can't even see the alternator. So damn, now I'm on YouTube. Here I am in a shop, tens of thousands of dollars worth of tools, and I'm watching some Skippy in his driveway telling me how to replace the alternator on this '87
I don't know
Escort.
how many times we had to watch a YouTube video of some little snot-nosed kid, teaching us how to do something.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like, I'm like,
Computer
shit,
stuff.
man, how the hell do I do this freaking Adobe Illustrator?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing you want to do is
I watch it for how to create my YouTube banner, and it was like this 12-year-old girl in her bedroom with all of this like unicorn stuff, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm old. And then she was good though. She got right
I'm
into
telling
it.
you,
Yeah.
Gabby's teacher was telling me the other day that like there's virtual kids and then obviously in-person kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
The kids are real. They're not virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schooling, we know what
But
she means.
the virtual side of
do they
it,
have
there's
little
no-
emojis like your
there's
personality?
no interaction. Like they're not supposed to be able to like see or hear the students that are in person.
Mhm.
Somehow Gabby figured out a way to like hack in, and she talks to all her friends. She
Oh,
like
that's
sends them
great.
little messages and stuff, and her teacher was telling me like, yeah, apparently she figured out how to
I wonder why they
see them
can't.
and have a conversation with
Why
them
can't
because
they communicate
there's
with them?
because they're at home, and nobody should be able to see into their house, and there could be like some kind of like law, like some kind
like
of
a privacy
privacy,
rule, not
something,
because
right? So
they don't
only
want
the
them
teacher,
talking.
right? So even the kids on the Zoom stuff can't see each other. It's
Huh,
supposed to
that's
be that
weird.
way. So when their name pops up, Gabby figured out a way to like send them chats and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like what?
So what are
So,
you guys smoking tonight?
I'm smoking the Troublemaker by Ezra Zion from my Cigar and Coffee of the Month Club.
And I am
Yeah.
smoking the J.C. Newman Yagua.
How is that?
So good.
I didn't send you any. I'm gonna have to get you some Yaguas. They're actually they're really good. I mean it's it's still. I mean, for all the hype and everything else, I mean, it's still just like a $7 cigar.
Right.
So it's a very good $7 cigar.
No, it's definitely.
It's got a great story and
Yeah, it
Well,
has
yeah,
a
the
really
story
good
of how
story,
they
but
wrap it in the leaves and how
Yeah.
they used to do that back in the day and the way it takes different shapes. I mean, that's
Yeah.
To me, it's definitely a very mild
It's
cigar, though.
it's
super mild.
mild, super mild. What about you, Kerr? What are you smoking tonight?
I'm smoking the Big Tony, one of the last of the samples.
Oh, nice! Look at that band.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is from the new factory that you're testing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we hopefully gonna be making an announcement pretty soon who we're gonna be going with. This is a really good cigar. You know, he gave us three different blends for each of our blends. So Big Tony, Edition 35 Gringo, and Sandela. And I think it's pretty unanimous which ones were the stars and which ones were not.
I think we agree. You and I agreed. So far, pretty much spot on. Which ones we liked, which ones we didn't like.
I'll tell you that one that I smoked today.
Those pictures were fantastic. Really
But
awesome.
that
job with them.
cigar was so fresh. It was just so delicious.
Yeah, his take on
really
this,
Thank you, Jen.
This factory on the Gringo. First of all, the freaking actual barber pole, the wrapping of using two
the
wrappers
color
is
is
fantastic, right? So
unbelievable.
the construction is great.
Yeah.
You know, it's not taking a Connecticut freaking cigar and wrapping a Candela freaking strip around it. The colors are vibrant and and the flavor is great. But I also like the the interpretation of the spice of it, because you still do get the grassiness of it, but not so much grassy, and you do get more spice and more pepper in it.
You do definitely get.
Now,
a little
Jen,
bit
are
of
you
the
giving your
nicotinous in there,
input
too.
on these, as in like room note and construction, how they look and everything
I go
else?
more. Yeah, I do definitely look at how they're made compared to others, and just the visual aspect of it. Especially
Now,
when it's photographed too, I can really see the difference
how
without
it burns,
no filters or anything.
you know.
But he'll send me pictures and just.
I'll send her pictures to see how it's burning. Where is it canoeing? Is it freaking getting this ridiculous Rocky Mountain freaking? After you knock the ash off, is there crevices and freaking?
And I can tell the
tunneling?
difference in the smoke.
Can you look at the
smells off of it?
Yeah, that's the big thing too. Is the smells off the
Oh,
smoke.
that's nice.
Because she'll come out and be like, "Man, that smells horrible."
Yeah.
I've done that before. I've come in and be like, Kevin.
He was smoking one
Like, what are you
earlier,
smoking?
and I could have sworn there was plastic burning somewhere. Like, I thought it was outside, and I'm like, where is that?
That's because I dropped it on the
from?
plastic bag that I was putting the desk together with. But she'll give me that feedback. She'll look at the colors of the cigar and how how it presents, and do some comparing and contrasting, and then
I'll also pick them up because I've felt squishy ones or softer cigars versus others. I may not smoke them or be able to do that part of it, but I do give my opinion on the other.
She gives
I
gives
feel-
the old hand job.
But I feel like that's a good thing because you're like, you don't care what it tastes like in a sense, but like as far as construction, because sometimes we don't look at that all the time. Like we're like, oh, we got our cigars, like let's just smoke them. But you're
And
actually
if I see something that I'm
expecting
not sure of, I'll ask. I'll be like, is it supposed to look like this, or why? And it just educates me on maybe how certain leaves are and why they may appear that way.
No, and that's like another thing. When I was sitting outside today, and I just happened to look at the cigar and then look at the plant, and I was like, oh my god, just
It was
look
a
at
beautiful
how
picture. I loved
vibrant
it.
the color of the cigar is. Was
To the
so
point that I'm probably
cool.
going to print it and frame it and put it in
It
the
was
office.
just
I
so
loved it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was just so cool though. I was like, this is so vibrant. It's such a beautiful cigar.
Yeah, and
Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah, and
Sorry, Kevin, that I told Jessica to smoke it.
And I'll have to dig through because I don't know if I have any more of Grasshoppers by Nick Melillo, which made a good. I want to say it's a good Candela, but I'll tell you, Kerr, that I know you're a lover of Candela like I am. I'd put money on it if I blindfolded you. You wouldn't know it was a Candela.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
It was
couldn't tell that it was
And
Candela.
in the wrapper, was or the obviously the Candela wrapper. It was smooth and waxy, like a fresh picked leaf. So it was
Really?
that it had
Yeah.
that waxy finish,
Wow.
but for somehow he got rid of 100% of
That
the
bitterness.
chlorophyll and the bitterness.
That's amazing how they can do that, because I got feedback from, someone else that tastes cigar with the Gringo, and they said I like it because you do have the grassiness, but it's not as Candela-y.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Where
And
I
that,
do like
and I'm not a
Candela
huge
flavor.
Candela fan, and that cigar I liked
Yeah.
because he's made me try every single Candela pretty much, and that was one of the ones that I was like, oh, this one's actually really good. But you even said it's almost like not smoking a Candela.
Yeah, but that goes to like Kerr choosing a good factory,
Yeah.
Nick Melillo blending. A lot of people, Jen, will take a cigar. They'll take their regular cigar, and then they'll just put a Candela wrapper on it. Just put a green leaf around it, and that's it. That's their Candela. When that wasn't the good cigar. You have to blend to that wrapper.
Yeah.
So
Right.
everything
So
has to
I guess
go.
it goes right back again to what did a real Candela cigar taste like?
Yeah.
Because people have said, you have said, like the myth is it had almost a sweetness, a
Very
pineapple-y.
sweet.
I've
Sweet
got-
pineapple, yeah.
I've got that book, and that's what
Yeah.
And the one notation, if someone's smoking that green cigar, and he's like, "I like it because it's sweet like a pineapple,"
Right.
and it's just like that. But that has haunted me to that phrase, and I
Have
have
you
asked
ever had that pineapple taste?
no, and no manufacturer has either, and I have talked to
a lot
every
of
manufacturer,
said
and
they don't really know how those Candelas were really made. Like,
Well, I sent you the article, Kevin, that I read about Candelas, where Candela was like the thing back in the
Yeah.
day.
yeah, the American market selection. That's what they called it.
And then when everything, I think it was right around the time with the embargo with Cuba and everything started
Yeah.
happening, it went away because the Cuban way of actually producing that Candela wrapper was kind of lost. So they started trying to do the same processing with Dominican tobaccos, and they didn't know how to do it. So it became very bitter. So I've had some Candelas that are very, very
Yeah.
bitter.
Yeah.
And then you had this whole phase of bitter Candelas, which kind of turned everybody off from it. And then they realized, hey, these leaves actually turn brown. And then you got into the traditional cigar, and then Candelas started making a comeback once people started working on and understanding, how do you take this leaf and really make it a properly flavorful Candela. I've had a bunch of them. I think the sweetest Candela, the one I think that probably, because I don't have a time machine, I can't go back, but the one Candela that I smoked that I think is always spot on, it's got a sweeter flavor to it than most Candelas, is Fuentes Candela.
Yeah.
have you ever had that one?
Yeah, the 858. I've got one in the humidor.
That cigar
Yep.
to me is like, when I smoke that, I'm like, it's like a dessert. It really is. It's sweet. It's got grassy flavor. It's not too crazy pepper. It's got a little spicy to it, but it's like that allspice. It's not gonna turn you off from anything if you don't like anything spicy. But if you don't like Candela, you're not gonna like it because it does have grassiness to it, but it's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had the Olivas on, John Senior, John Junior, and they said they provide the wrapper for that cigar.
Oh, nice.
So, but yeah, and I never had one of the original. Maybe you have, but Cigar Craig said the original Camacho Candela was
I never
was
had
his
the original.
okay was his favorite Candela.
I've had actually out of the new Camacho. I don't like the new blends of Camacho that much. I've smoked all of them, and I'm like, I'm not a big fan. The Candela Camacho, I think, is a fantastic cigar.
They definitely did a good job.
Jen, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Bold Rock hard cider white cranberry.
Is that what you're drinking, Kerr?
No. If I'm drinking something with that long of a name to it, that's as long as Kevin's studio.
Is that good,
Yeah.
Jen?
It is.
good?
It has a nice,
Refreshing.
cranberry taste to it.
I
Yeah.
drink it when I mix it with vodka.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm just drinking beer, Modelo and light beer.
Modelo.
My niece and her husband came over, and he says, "I don't like light beer; it burns my throat." I'm like, "What?"
I've never heard anything. He said Miller Lite hurts his
What?
throat. Hurts his
How?
throat. I don't know. It's a light beer.
Yeah. What does his husband drink?
Exactly. So I got some Modelo for him. He's like, "Oh, thanks." I was like, "Oh yeah, well, you don't like Miller Lite? It's too tough on you."
I wonder if it's got like a more acidic, like.
It's Miller
No.
Lite. It's
No.
nothing.
No.
It's
No,
beer
Listen,
water.
I'm trying to. I was
Jess,
trying to
this
find
is
it
where I love you, but don't try and analyze someone saying
It's
Miller Lite
Miller
hurts my
Lite.
throat.
Maybe
Yeah.
he should just say he doesn't like it.
Then he
Yeah.
should spit, not swallow.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, we were saying it's Miller Lite.
It's Miller Lite. I was surprised to hear that too.
But we were actually talking today as I was putting together the desk. I bought 2 desks. And I thought, I'm going to buy 2 desks. I'm going to make mega desk. Instead of buying one ridiculously expensive desk. I bought 2 cheapo desks. And I brought Joe down because he wants to learn how to use tools.
Okay.
Considering that he was going to pump a bike tire full of air. And he's trying to put the thing on, and then the freaking
The cap was
the
still
cap's
on,
on it.
Still on the valve. Like, Joe, remove the cap from the
I'm
valve,
like, what's step
please.
1? He goes, I don't know. I'm like,
Oh,
seriously?
Lord.
Oh
This
Keep
my.
in their
generation
video
of
games.
children.
Still needs to puncture into.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh my
god.
God
Why
almighty.
is this not fitting?
Yeah.
So he's putting together the desk. I had him put together the other desk while I put the first desk together. And then there's an instruction manual, right? And I'm like, follow the instruction manual. Joe, you don't have to worry about that. Just move on. So Joe's building a desk with like support beams that are missing. So the desk is like, woo, because mommy steps in and decides to give him some secondary feedback.
I thought I was helping.
You were helping. And we start talking about the personality tests.
He took the
Oh.
ones that we took.
He took
Oh,
the
And
one that we
we're
took.
actually, I'm the same one as Joe.
Imagine
really?
that.
The logistician or whatever it
Imagine that.
was.
Imagine that.
Like, and all our numbers, I still have to send to him from what he told me. We're like, it's insane how much it matches up. It's a little scary.
Imagine that. Because I hear from both of them, I'm trying to say it, but I can't
feel
get the
like-
words to say it.
I feel like all our personality tests were dead on.
Oh
They're
yeah.
pretty close.
They were.
Kerr didn't think so. He didn't
You
think
didn't
he
think
was
yours?
the protagonist or whatever you were.
No, I didn't
What
say
were-
that.
Oh,
I thought you said that wasn't you.
No, I said I liked the freaking little guy.
the
Yeah.
avatar.
Yeah, you
That
like your
Avatar was
Roblox
great.
guy.
I did.
You said it was like a Minecraft character.
It was.
That's Jen's character coming out right there. You know?
You know, Kevin was quick to freaking criticize mine. Go, that is definitely you. It is. I mean, I thought it was
But
pretty
you're a
spot on.
jokester, but I don't feel like all of it's 100% accurate because it obviously could be interpreted like so many different ways, and so many people can take that part of their personality and do good with it or do bad with it. I don't think you making light or taking a situation is for the bad side.
It's
like
like you sound like you're describing a superhero versus a super villain. You
No,
must use your power for the forces of good or
well
evil.
because in a sense it can be that way. Because same thing with like mine was I'm an advocate apparently, like. So, and I think I've been like that my whole life. Like I've always defended people who didn't
You're
have
the
a voice, or
defender.
always from
So
the
how
time
would how would one turn that into an evil deed?
because you can also start being an advocate in a way where it's not facts, it's not truth, it's not really helpful. You're just have an agenda that you're trying to push onto somebody else.
Gotcha.
That might not be for the best of
So that's
all
the
people.
mirror image of someone who's an advocate for good versus someone who's just a blind
Right.
advocate for,
Interesting.
for
I mean, because
whatever.
Hitler was an advocate.
Well, right.
Just saying.
Jesus.
Kevin,
Isn't
it was,
his birthday coming up?
I was holding back.
Listen, first off,
You have no idea.
I never even said that. It's so horrible. It's like, oh,
No
you know,
idea how much I wanted to say something, but Jess, I held back.
Thank you. I appreciate that because clearly he can't not say something like that.
No, he can't.
I was going to use my forces for evil,
I can't
but I
help that my
refrained.
birthday is April 30th. I cannot help that. And
It's
Kevin,
also his death date too. Is
that's
April
the death
30th.
day. he died, which is a good thing. I'm glad he died. You know, but
we watched that show. He escaped to South America. Okay. We are 100%.
We watched the show too. That
I watched.
What was that? Oh no, that series that was on.
I watched the series when I was furloughed. That literally the guys who were all but I watched a whole different series of guys that like it was like three seasons of them.
Yeah, that's the series.
Finding out where everybody went.
That's what.
It's amazing.
It was actually crazy, but when I don't think you realize like when you say certain things like how it could be construed towards other people.
I think he does realize, Jess. I think he absolutely knows. 100%.
My grandfather's parents left Germany because they were German Jews. My grandfather came over here dressed as a girl. And dressed, long hair, everything to escape Germany.
All I said was, you like Jews more than Hitler did. That's all I said.
So why even say that? And why bring up like, well, Hitler's birthday was 10 days before hers?
I'm just saying your birthday is 10 days after Hitler's birthday. That's how I remember your birthday.
That's sad. It's just the last day.
I don't even know why that's how you know that's her birthday.
I don't know why
I guess at least he knows your birthday, Jess.
No, he doesn't. He forgets. No. There's been a couple times. 2 years now. 2 years.
Did he remember before or after? Or did you have to remind him the day of?
What, the series of learning Hitler's birthday?
When you're in the same house, you wake up in the same bed, neither one of you are at work, and it's your birthday, and you read 2 hours later on social media, happy birthday. That's not okay. I will never let him forget that.
Now I know that that's not okay. How do we know how do we learn unless we're told? Now I know that's not appropriate. Now I know.
Yeah, it makes you feel special.
You taught him well, Jess. Good job.
The day of my birth, you should be so excited.
I was so excited I shouted it to the world on Facebook.
You wanted to let the world know first.
I don't give a shit about other people. Yeah. Like, that's what you still haven't figured out. Don't say it on social media. I'm in the flesh. Don't say it while you're in the bathroom on the toilet. Happy birthday.
With the
while
door
we're
locked.
in the same household. Yeah, with the door locked.
Yeah.
But anyway, our personality tests I thought were pretty fitting.
Oh, mine was. Oh, the executive? Yeah. Oh, you know that. Yeah, mine was spot on.
Checklist?
Yeah, it had it holding up a checklist. My little Roblox character.
I know.
I don't know what the hell. I think mine's still up. To be honest with you.
You didn't really snapshot it.
No, I did snapshot.
Yeah, he did.
He took a picture. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Up on the screen. So he's majority extrovert, more intuitive.
Energy.
Very feeling
I'm very
on the nature
feeling.
side.
I'm tactical.
He's very judging. I thought it'd be on the other side.
What? Where am I judging?
Under tactics.
Your trait reflects our approach to work planning and decision making. That's not. Really wrong.
She's like judging.
You're very judgy. No, it says I plan really well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason why every time I plan something in a house, you think I'm being judgmental of you. Hey, I got a great plan today. Don't judge me. Read my fucking profile.
Well, mine said judging too, and I obviously didn't understand it.
I'm not you.
Jen is the judge.
Well, I sent it to everyone, so you all know my scores.
Does under your profile says read shit the wrong way and then falsely accuse your partner? So I'm freaking.
What was the bottom one?
Identity. Showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions.
You're very confident. See, I don't believe that last one. You're very confident in your decisions.
Huh?
You're very confident in your decisions.
I'm really not confident with this decision right now. It's probably reflecting that.
Well, I found the questions, like I said to Kevin, like they're not as in depth as they should have been because there's so many different scenarios that you could have answered those questions in. Like, you're not going to always feel or look at everything the same way because there's always going to be like a variable. So it can't be really that accurate.
It says I'm a firm believer in people.
I believe
there
that.
you go.
You
Good
are.
job.
And
until you get jaded.
I'm genuine, caring people who talk the truth and walk the walk. That's fucking right, baby. That's actually my problem.
Strengths and weaknesses.
See, and I find it
People
interesting
you may know.
that I'm an advocate and you're the whatever,
The
executor. But like, I was like trying to look to see like how not compatible we probably are. Because I was reading it and then reading his, and I was like, I'm surprised that we haven't killed each other or like.
We haven't. We almost a few times putting shit together.
Well, no. When we did our,
you left me alone for the most part.
What do you mean left you alone? I helped you build that whole entire shelving unit out in the living room. Yeah, we didn't kill each other there. That was the first and only time.
That was the first time
that we had never fought putting something together.
Yeah.
All I know is that Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, and Ben Affleck are all protagonists too.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't read that.
I didn't go that far into mine.
I'll have to go back and look.
I just scrolled down.
So I wonder if I'm gonna have to retake the test then. And I wonder if we retake it, will we get the same result?
Mine got sent to my email. Did you guys not?
Oh, I didn't get mine. No.
You guys didn't. I saved my thing.
No,
and
it says you want to send to you.
I just snapshot and sent it to
I shared my actual link to my stuff.
I'm gonna have to take it again now.
So and I wonder if
you guys
different.
That's the sign of an advocate, Jess, is sending it to everybody and being an advocate of this whole process.
No, and I don't know. I was a all-parent advocate of Western North Carolina, like for years, for like 3 years, and like. I in school I used to be part of the debate club, and then
that explains a little bit.
I was gonna say, you don't say.
I don't know. Even when I was younger, I looked at things.
You'd be the reason why I've never won a debate with you. Right there.
I either should have been a detective or something, because I pay attention to the small shit. And I don't let it go. I'm like, yeah, I remember.
Even when she remembers wrong, she does not let it go.
It's all up in there. But even when I was a kid and stuff, really young, I can remember always people watching and observing, and then standing up for things. Even if I didn't fully understand the meaning behind stuff, you know right from wrong. You know when something is not okay.
The one thing
and that's why I get upset with you, because I'm like, just unleash me.
Yeah.
Just unleash me. And then he's like, no, just be quiet. Just be calm. I'm just a very passionate person, and I'm not.
Do I have the ability to do that? Can I unleash you if I ever need to? Because Jennifer's bark's worse than her bite.
That's
I don't know. I'm pretty sure my bite is pretty vicious.
I mean, I actually, if it got to the point,
try not to be.
If it got to the point where Jennifer would bite, I would not want to be on the receiving end.
He's seen me mad once,
because
it really
But still, though, because I know you're very passionate and you share a lot with me, and you really kind of go off, and then it's like, okay, well, then go do this. You're like, no, I would never do that.
Yeah.
But
that's Kevin.
But if it ever but I've seen how you are with certain people, and the way how you mentally compartmentalize things and how you deal with people. Mm-hmm. It's just like, what about such and such? They're dead to me. Fuck them. And I'm
I always say to Kevin, I might not kill a bitch, but I'll cut a bitch.
Yeah. But it's see,
my motto.
But here's the one thing I know about Jennifer. If it got to the point where action had to be taken, you would not find the body.
Well,
I know it for a fact.
Pushed to a limit. Where the same thing with Kevin. Kevin can be pushed, and then I've seen him explode a couple times. But I've also seen him defend himself and put those boundaries. And for me, that's I get it. I guess I get it from work too. I have to put all these walls and boundaries up all the time, because people will just try to walk and manipulate, and it's like, nope, I don't have time for this. This is what I need you to do. Move along.
See, my little personality test just told me one thing, which is very true. It says that my personality, I take a lot of arrows.
Yeah, you do.
It takes a lot. Because a lot of criticism, a lot of bullshit. You could just maintain your composure through a lot of nonsense. And I mean, I had to learn that, because I guarantee it did not fit my profile when I was younger. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in the field that we're in, Kerr, in the cigar world, we've got to do that.
No,
you've got to.
I will say, Kerr definitely has mastered not engaging or not entertaining things better than you have.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He can turn the blind eye, and
Yeah,
maybe I'll just.
it's hard for you. Sometimes you.
Well, I don't think it's turning the blind
say-
eye. I think it's just
Well, no. Yeah, that was
Kinda-
Right, but I think it's not engaging.
not engaging, rising above it, and
Right.
because it's
He-
usually just
Kevin does
childish
it a
bullshit.
lot. Right, Kevin does it a lot, but also you say things sometimes, and I know you've even said that you're trying to work on that because it's like an emotion. It's like an emotional reaction rather than a logic.
Well,
Oh,
I think
yeah,
there's
yeah.
still emotion behind it. It's which
Yeah.
one
But
you
that's
want to
what I
lead
think
with.
is the difference.
But that's why I said years ago, like I've been in sales for over 20 years, and I also, my current job, you deal with a lot, and you can't have an emotional response, because if you, in my from what I've dealt with, if you do, especially in sales, you're not going to be successful. But I'm also not an ass kisser. It's there's a certain point you get pushed to where I present the facts, and I've had people tell me I don't like arguing with you. I don't like arguing with you, and I said, yeah, you don't like arguing with me because
Right.
no, because I said I'm objective. I present the facts.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you keep digging. You keep digging. I said, I dig to get to the facts because if I dig to the facts, and if I'm wrong, then I want to correct what I've done wrong so I don't duplicate that in the future. That's how I want to be self-learning. But if I dig deeper and you're wrong, then you're the one with the problem, not me.
Right.
And I try and dig to find out where the problem is. I'm a problem solver by nature, so I want to find out what the issue is. How do we correct it, and how do we avoid it moving forward? And then we could freaking live and learn. I think in the cigar industry, you get a lot of that because it could be bad construction, it could be a misunderstanding, it could be freaking, whatever the case may be. You can get on freaking social media. You can either blast somebody openly, or you can just go on a
Right.
pontificating, self-freaking-serving rant and be passive-aggressive about it, or you can really find out what the problem is and then
Right.
fucking correct it and be a fucking man.
Yeah.
Or
But
woman.
I know with Kevin, like he's honest to a fault. Like when I first met him, he would say things to me. I'd be like, I didn't need to know that. I would have never have known that. And he was like,
your
"But I
earlobes
would-"
are kind of fat.
But he was like, I wouldn't feel good if it ever did come out. And I'm like, how would it ever come out? But like I'll give him
Like
that.
he has
Like
no
that's
skeletons in his closet. He just wants
no,
everything out
and
in the
like,
open.
but then sometimes he omits things, which sometimes is still lying to me. But that's a whole nother topic. But anyway,
I'm
That's
the type
the
of guy
next
that
topic.
you're like, yeah, you're
Wow.
on social media.
that's
Wow.
a whole other topic.
But I'm also the type of guy. You be like, hey Kevin, you're lighting that cigar wrong. I'm like, oh yeah, your mom's a hoe. Yeah,
my God.
like what do you got there? Yeah.
Yeah, but like, why say that?
Moving along.
Why say
Yeah,
that? It's so
it ends the
stupid.
conversation.
But you
It
know,
does.
You call someone's mom's a hoe? That ends
Yeah,
the
well,
conversation
that's-
right there.
My mom is a hoe, but it does not freaking negate the fact that you're lighting your cigar wrong.
Cigar
Yeah.
That's how I would
Yeah.
handle that question.
But I like how everyone, even just for example, the cigar community, they all say stuff. Everyone says stuff, but everyone tries to claim like, this person is the worst person. They said this, they said that. Well, so did you. Maybe not in the same exact way, or maybe not at the same time, but there has been things said, right? And that's what I find so hilarious, because we're all grown-ups, and everyone's like somewhat whines or complains about stuff, and they're all saying the same shit. The same shit.
What do you mean? Are you saying the same shit? Go in greater detail on the same shit. Because I'm not trying to be an ass,
No.
but I'm saying when you say there, are you talking about like, if
Okay,
you talk
like,
about a
if-
cigar, you got 10 guys saying the same thing about a cigar, but then everyone's going to criticize what they're saying about the cigar?
Okay, like that kind of isn't what I was trying to say, but
Right.
like,
Well, that's why
Like
I'm
what-
asking for clarity.
okay, so basically, like, if there's if there's issues like with certain, like,
It doesn't
Big-
stop.
That does.
like things in the cigar community that people may or may not like, there's been obviously like tons of controversy towards certain things, right? So let's just take like women in the cigar industry. When things get said, it's not just one person who should be being like ostracized for saying something, when other people are saying those things too. And then for them to not be truthful about that is wrong. And if
Gotcha.
it even
Okay, I see what you're saying.
and it is
You're
also
talking about criticism,
and it's
not.
also and it's
All
also
right.
it's the way people have said things too. It's the same meaning. It's the same thing. It might be said a little bit differently, but it's still hateful.
Right.
It's still
Yeah.
not okay. Just because you said it nicer
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's not ugly.
No, I hear
And
what you're
that's where
saying.
people don't want to like see that about themselves. And I mean, who the hell am I really to
But
judge
they
anyone?
won't, though,
but
Jess.
but
That's
that's
the
my
problem.
point is how dare you point your finger at someone when you got 3 more pointing back at yourself.
Well,
That's how you got to look
Well, they
at
don't
it.
That's the
care
idea of
that.
having standards. You know, they're like
Right.
hamburgers. Everyone, you know, why have a double? Why have a single when you can have a double?
So it's
Everyone
okay.
has-
So the louder you are, the more you beat your chest, the more audience you have, doesn't make you right.
No, it
And
doesn't.
it doesn't make the other person right either who's ever said anything. It just means like there's things that have been said or maybe things that have been taken out of context and who knows. But also when people hide things and delete things so they can't be caught in their bullshit is also wrong too.
Well,
and then
that's-
point
It's
a
very
finger at
juvenile
somebody
in high
else.
school.
Yeah,
But
no,
that's
it's
what my point is that I see it all the time.
Well,
other
yeah.
people see it, but it's just like unnecessary stuff.
But it's always accepted too, because I think what Kevin's point is, you know, when you're in the cigar industry, it's like it doesn't matter whether you are a big cigar brand owner or if you're a rep or if you're a personality or whatever you want to call yourself in the cigar industry.
There's a big bug that you can
A
buy.
big fucking bug.
Oh my God.
Look out. There it is. It's a mosquito.
It's huge. Why are there mosquitoes already?
It's probably
Oh
not
my
a mosquito. It's probably a water bug.
Oh no,
Nah, it's
that's
a
a big
mosquito.
mosquito.
Is it
It's
a
one of those
mosquito?
big mother effers.
Yes.
Yes.
But
hate bugs.
it's such a big small industry. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I guess in that respects, you know, there's a lot of I've noticed one thing. There's so much shit talking behind the scenes. I know, right, Kevin?
I'm gonna have to just be looking up.
I'm gonna be
entire
like,
time. Where's my bug zapper?
Huh?
Where's my tennis racket?
I don't know, but I'm gonna have to. You're on wheels. I'm just gonna push you out. There you go. You go freaking bug hunting.
I have one of those
You're
electric
distracting.
electric tennis rackets.
Yes. Go find your electric tennis racket.
So you burn the bugs.
Oh, we zapped the shit out of it. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
and it works great. Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
Yeah,
for
they
the-
die slowly and miserably. It's awesome.
Except for the big carpenter
You
bees.
smell the burning
my-
hair.
The big carpenter bees, it's like a stun gun, and then they get
we
up.
play tennis with them. Boom.
It's not a honeybee.
It doesn't matter.
No,
It's
Yeah.
still
they're freaking aggressive. They chase after us in the backyard.
You know what they do too?
They're
Then
horrible.
they
They
know
fuck with you.
they know how slow I am. They know my reaction time, and they know the distance between me and them and my racket.
They
And they'll
do.
sit just beyond. And then they'll go. They're gonna go. Bzzz,
They charge you.
And then they'll go, move up, and I'll get up the swing, and they'll be like,
That's because they feel threatened because you got
No.
They're freaking aggressive. And
Yeah,
they're
Jess, I'm
huge.
really threatening sitting on my front porch smoking a cigar, drinking a beer. Ooh, look at me, I'm gonna kill you, bee. No, they come up and they fuck with me.
And they're big.
I don't know.
I've been around
I-
carpenter bees before. The ones here are freaking huge. They're not the murder hornets. They're freaking big ass.
They're
carpenter
big, fat bees, and they literally will sit just beyond your reach, and they'll
They
just
eat
look
too
at
much
you.
Southern food.
Don't let Kevin near trying to kill anything. He takes brake cleaner fluid and sprays it, and it smells the whole house up. And I'm like,
it's
what
better
the
than taking
If,
a
if it
chemical.
works, I'm all for it.
No,
Yeah,
just
course,
get a tissue and squish it. What? That he will. He cannot kill anything. I'm like, I
No.
step on him.
I get called in all the time. I'll hear screams. I'll be
You
like,
can't
what?
do it.
There's a stink bug this big.
I've gotten
Joe,
better with the stink
Joe,
bugs. Those I'll kill.
I
because the
come
cat just
upstairs.
stares
You
at
know
them.
how I know
She
there's a
does
stink
nothing.
bug in the bathroom upstairs? Because the bathroom's closed. All the lights are on upstairs, and he's in the other bathroom.
Hiding in our closet.
And I'm like,
For a bug?
you have no idea what this house is like. I mean, I walk through like I'm the Terminator when a bug's around. It is. Like I'll walk
I
through
hate 'em.
and they'll be like,
Well,
oh.
Wyatt,
Again, why I
Wyatt does
won't
the same
camp.
thing. He comes in, he gets me, mommy. I'm like, what? He's like, there's a bug, and like I have to go in, and he's like behind me, like, did you get it? And like I have to kill the bug, and it could be a fly, and I'm like, I can't.
I just ignore it. I'll see a
fine
bug
with
and be like,
flies and stuff
"What's
like
up?
that.
What's up, bro?" And then I just keep walking.
No.
Like yeah.
No.
So come in, like, there's a spider there. I'm like, yeah, it eats all the flies around
Yes.
here. Just let the spider go.
Oh no, Kevin will not. He
He's
does
up
not
there
do
eating
spiders.
flies, and I get
It's
called
nature.
in for it.
Any beetle,
It's nature.
in beetles type animal, any spider, flies, I can care less about. The
Oh,
cat
you would
chases
die
them.
here in Florida with
See-
our palmetto bugs
Oh,
and stuff.
I've lived where they've had them, and it's
Ugh.
horrific. We also had wolf spiders.
Oh
and
yeah, they're
the
good spiders
centipedes,
though.
and-
They're
no,
good.
they
They're
freaking
good
jump
spiders.
and they're fast.
But
they
they're
suck.
good spiders.
But
They
you
kill
have like
all
the
bad
palmetto bug,
spiders.
like it looks menacing and then it flies at you, and it's like like who created that sick fucking animal? You know?
that doesn't want to die either.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
They
like
don't.
armor. It's like you
Yeah.
try to squish them and they still fly away, and you're
I
like,
get-
how are you still
I'll find
alive?
like a dead bug and I'll pick it up and be like, I should go. And I'm like, no, because I know I'd seen Jennifer really pissed off one time, and it was an accident on my end.
If I was
And you would've-
seeing, I was freaking.
And the
Yeah.
story is so freaking stupid,
It's a great story.
but I was scared. So we had our coffee set up,
It was in our
right?
previous house.
And I had a sugar, an old school sugar dispenser from the diners, the silver top
Yeah.
glass, and she had NaCl on the side. It's salt in there, right?
Yeah.
NaCl, salt.
Well, I freaking just kind of was like, I'm gonna make Jen some coffee today. Pulled out her coffee, put it in her milk, put it in sugar,
I take 3 spoonfuls of sugar sometimes.
mixed
in
it
coffee.
up. I was like, here you go, honey. She took a sip of that coffee. She's like, what did you do?
I was screaming.
And I go,
tossed the coffee.
I go, what the fuck are you talking? She's like, do you think this is funny? Do you think this is funny? Hold this cup up to me. And I'm like,
Is this a joke?
what? Is this a joke? Because
Is
this
this
is
a
not
fucking
funny.
joke?
This is not fucking funny.
Is it- coffee out?
Is this what you think of me, funny boy?
It was literally like the scene from freaking Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Am I a clown?
Do
Am I here to
make fun,
amuse
make
you?
laugh? Yeah.
And I'm
do I
like-
amuse you?
And I'm like getting that Ray Liotta nervous
And
laugh
it was
going,
an early morning. It was early
Yeah.
morning.
and
Oh my
she's screaming
God.
at me. I'm like, I said, what? She goes, you put salt in here. This is not funny. And I go, I use that. She goes, it has NaCl in it. I'm like, sorry, Bill Nye the Science Guy. I didn't see the official NaCl on the side.
It's been there forever.
I
like
thought
that
I'd
was
make you
my
some
salt
coffee.
container.
But she-
I have a sugar container.
And literally for a couple hours afterwards,
Oh my god, it was horrible.
I just stayed clear until she
What does
finally
your
calmed
sugar
down.
container Say sucrose? What does that say? What is it?
It's a sugar bowl. Sugar bowl.
Sorry.
It's like
Here's the kitchen, and over here is
The
is
salt was
is
next to the stove.
is
it
the
was
freaking,
where it's supposed to be.
the elements and compounds freaking diagram from my freaking 8th grade.
And not
study.
mess
Yeah.
with Jen and her coffee.
Yeah,
It was horrible.
Jess.
I'll never
Here's the-
forget that.
Here's the only person that has a periodic table of elements in his kitchen.
Hey,
who'd be,
thank
like,
you.
Holding up a jar, going,
Yeah.
I think this is mercury.
It's
She
like-
doesn't- she
it's
probably
like
doesn't
looking
want
at
this in her
taste
coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've
Here's
never-
the route to all
I have to say
spices.
that was probably the maddest I've ever been.
I've
at
and we've
him.
gotten arguments, and I've said some pretty not nice things, and she's never gotten angry as
No,
angry as
that
she's gotten that
was-
day.
because
God.
it was
And
just
it was
the
like,
taste was
Are
horrible.
you fucking?
That's actually funny because when I was,
It was not
living
funny.
in my apartment,
Scary.
my brother was at my parent living with my parents, and I was like, hey, because I would go to their house and like shop their cupboard, like if I didn't have stuff when I was like really poor. So I needed sugar, and I was like, hey, he was coming over to hang out, and I was like, grab sugar and stuff like that. So he like takes a Ziploc bag and he's putting
Brings
sugar in it.
Donnie just brings a handful of
Yeah,
it,
no.
holding it the whole way,
So,
driving the
we
car.
make
Can I have some
coffee.
sugar?
There you go.
No, we make coffee and like we're like scooping it out of the bag, like ready to drink it. It was salt.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the fuck? Who puts
Yeah.
salt in a fucking container?
Oh,
Like
I,
it should be sugar in a container.
I don't fuck
But
with her coffee
yeah, it's
ever.
nasty. I've had salt
Yeah.
coffee before. It's
But
pretty gross.
Jessica got mad at me once because I wouldn't get mad at her. She really
Oh, I did.
she got angry, started yelling at me. She's like, "Why don't you get mad?" Like she fucked up. I think she knew it, and then I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." And it's really, she's that's the problem with you. You don't ever get mad. Why don't you? And then she started yelling at
no,
me.
The problem was is that in any past relationship I had been in, because it was early on in our relationship, they were like toxic. So you kind of like have that like spillover. Your luggage does go with you. I don't care what other people say. It's like, baggage. It you can't help it. And I was so used to getting like that back and forth. Kevin would never give it to me. And I was like, why don't you just fucking like throw something at me?
Why don't you
He's
just
like,
hit me? God damn it!
he's like, why? No, but he was like, why would I do that? I'm like, break a glass, do something, show me like you care. And he's like, why would I break something or yell back at you? That's not nice. And I was like, I need this. I remember like in the beginning, it was hard for me. Like Kevin was just kind of like, it doesn't bother me. And I was like, it bothers me so much. Like you can't like
gloves.
Having an argument with him. There is none. There is no argument.
So does that just make you more mad? It
makes me so fucking angry, and he knows it, and I know he does it too, because he knows that I'm gonna be like instantly like pissed off, and he's like, I'm just gonna go, bye, and just closes the door, just ignores me, and that makes me even more pissed that he's not giving me back that. I don't know what it is, the chaos. Like, just give it back to me. You won't give it to me. So now I just occasionally we fight. There's occasional buck ups.
Is it funny if he does argue back?
Because no, he catches me off guard, and then I feel like shit. Because like I'm like, wow, where did that come from?
He probably regurgitates a lot of facts right back at you in a very aggressive way, and then you're just like, fuck.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I picked the fight with the wrong guy. I asked for it, he delivered, and I just fucked up.
Well, also, when Kevin gets super, like, pissed off or pushed to a point where I'm good at pushing him, because I want that, but I don't get it when I want it, and then when I do get it, I'm like, fuck. Was not prepared for this, Kevin. You were supposed to give it to me 5 fights ago. Now you're giving me this
Kevin's
shit.
He can't wait to make the trailer for this show. He's
it was the first time I got mad at Eric at work. I said we'd worked together for like a year when I transferred from one shop to the other, and I never get like. I don't know, every couple months I'll just explode on somebody. Usually it's one of the kids, for doing something just dumb at work.
Mind you, these are still adults.
But kids, Anybody younger than me is a child.
Okay.
I started, he ride my ass about something, telling me that I'm wrong, and then I finally yelled at him. I go, what, Eric? What am I wrong about? Is it the math? Is it the fucking math that I'm wrong about? I go, I didn't invent it. I go, this isn't my opinion. You take this number, you subtract this number, and this is what you fucking get, you idiot. And I started yelling at him. I go, it's math. It's not my opinion.
Arithmetic's not an opinion. I tell people all the time.
But Kevin doesn't like confrontation.
Neither do I.
I thrive off of confrontation.
I hate it.
Like, I know that I don't seek it out, but I do thrive.
Sounds like you kind of do seek it out, though, Jess.
I
kind of do.
But if you realize, like, in my household, like, how I grew up, like, Kevin has seen it. Like,
you ever see this bitch play dominoes?
No.
Good. I mean, the first time I'm over to her
Slamming
house.
them down?
First time.
No, with your parents.
And you called me a bitch, first off. That's really fucked up.
Well, he's being confrontational. Be careful what you ask for.
Hey, you want to go to my parents' house tonight? We're going to have dinner and play dominoes. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then
that's not how that conversation.
They are screaming each other, throwing dominoes at each other, slamming shit on the ground. And then like, you want to play? And I'm like, no, I don't.
Kevin never wanted to learn how to play dominoes.
Because you yell at each other.
We do yell, but
you're brutal.
But you think we're yelling like mad? We're yelling like in the competition.
Your dad will look at you and go, "Yeah, your mom's a hoe." Yeah, no, I mean,
my dad would never say that. First off,
but yeah, it's like
my mom barely ever curses. My mom has never had a speeding ticket in her life.
Yeah,
neither one of them drink. Like, that would never happen.
What does it have to do with dominoes, Jess?
Well, I'm saying,
what does speeding tickets have to do with dominoes?
Probably the most laid-back person.
I've seen your mom is not laid back.
My mom is not laid back, but she doesn't curse.
She yells and she says mean things.
She says mean things, yeah. Like, she'll cut you, like, deep to your soul.
I didn't curse Kevin, but you sure are. XYZ.
When like in my house, everyone's always just been like in my family, they've always been loud people. Kevin's family is not loud people.
No.
They're not New Jersey people. New York, New Jersey people, like they're not.
Talk over
and like
one
if you're
another.
not
Oh,
around
loud.
that, it could be very
My
it could be
parents
very
have
scary.
the church voice in
Yeah.
the house at all the time.
Yeah.
My
No,
family's
not my
loud.
family.
My
My family
family's
is loud.
my family's loud. My dad, my brother, my sister, my mom when my brother and my mom when they were alive, very loud, very everything else. I have not experienced loud and just fucking bulldozer till I walked into Jennifer's dad's house, and I just sit down. I don't say a
Lord.
fucking word anymore because I realized every sentence is unfinished.
Yes.
We finish each other's sentences.
Unfinished.
It's
Hey,
not
the other day I was
unfinished.
walking down the
We
street and oh, I'm sorry. Was I boring you with what I was saying? And hey, did you know was the middle of my sentence interrupting the beginning of yours? I was just gonna be over here.
That's my parents'
I remember
house.
seeing Chris Monaco from Amendola. His wife had posted a picture, and it was like Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Yeah.
Like the whole family was together, and just everybody like these Jersey, New York. I mean, it was just a picture, my comment was,
Italian?
I go, why is this picture so loud?
Yeah.
You know, that's
Just
what it was
chaos.
like.
You know, it's fucking
is.
chaos. There's
And you
15
gotta-
conversations going on.
And you have to remember, my mom is a sibling of 9.
Wow.
And then I have 31 first cousins.
Holy man.
So during holidays,
Every
That's a
man
party.
for himself.
is loud.
I couldn't even
grew up
imagine.
in a very
That's
loud, aggressive. You want to be heard, you gotta be louder. You have to be in that person's face, being like the center of attention type of thing.
That
you
person
know?
who's probably the loudest gets the most attention. Outsiders are like, why is that person so angry? They're not
Yeah,
angry. They're
But
just
you're
they just
not.
have to freaking dominate
Right.
this group
Right.
of freaking
Chaos.
I mean,
people. It's
really, when you
crazy.
think about it, it's like just a bunch of mercenaries, verbal
It is.
mercenaries. Just
It is. It is like how I was raised. So sometimes, like I'm not aware of it until like someone who's never been in my bubble like comes in. Like Kevin, when he came in, I was like, oh, he is gonna be like, what the actual hell did I step
I told
into?
Jen, I don't even have conversations. That's like I realize it's like
He doesn't. He sits on his phone.
I could start talking about something so serious. I'll be like, and then and then this person died, and then if okay, just checking over here. A little sympathy? No, okay, I'll just.
No,
Yeah.
but like Kevin will go out on like the lanai or whatever. He'll play on his phone, and my dad will come out and have conversations with
Yeah.
you one on one. Trying to do group, it doesn't happen.
No.
It doesn't happen because everyone's just talking at each other, not to each other. It's
Yeah.
it's just throw up. And like most of the time, we just sit there, we eat our food, we go out on the lanai, we smoke our cigars, and then we're like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a
Your
lot.
mom was yelling at us over Christmas, and we're unwrapping presents
No.
wrong.
That
you know?
okay, let's put it
Yeah.
this way. Christmas, Graham came
Oh,
home.
so-
Graham didn't have to come home for Christmas, but he did, which was awesome. I loved every moment of it. So we go to my mom's, and like it started with like she had this thought of like how she wanted things to go, but doesn't say anything, expects us all to like read her mind. So then we go, Wyatt didn't want to listen. He didn't want to take a picture. So like my brother got upset, then my mom got upset. So then I got into a fight with both my mom and my brother. And we're like, fuck it, we're leaving. That's it. Get in the car, go. Graham decides to lose it on all of them and tell them all about themselves. He's like, I didn't come here to deal with this bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
you're all acting like fucking, like, despicable. Like, this is annoying.
I
So-
sit back and just laugh now.
Yeah, Kevin
when
and
we're
I
at
are
family
like-
things like that.
Yeah, we're like, so then we like somehow all pull it together. And literally that Christmas picture was us all faking like that we were not just gonna beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
Everybody
literally
smile.
5 minutes ago
Yeah.
we were going to murder
Fuck.
each other.
But yeah, everybody just smile, you know, and it was like sometimes it's like that, and then other times it's completely fine and
Yeah.
calm and normal. But you know, I think every family has its own ups and downs, but I definitely will say Kevin's family is not remotely like anything like my family at all. There is.
Yeah, my dad will sit down. So is there a problem? And let's just
I couldn't even imagine anybody saying. But that's the other thing. You guys are all in denial about saying actual things, like real matters, even like not in the family gatherings. Like you guys just don't discuss things.
Yeah, it's the
You
way it
just
should
pretend.
be.
You just pretend.
Yeah,
nothing
that's
is
just
wrong.
the way it should be.
No,
That's how
not
I
healthy
am.
either.
That's exactly
That's so
how I am.
unhealthy.
I really hate.
What I miss.
yeah.
What I miss.
But it's so okay. So do you think?
Recap that?
So basically, like Kevin's family, like there is no. They don't ever. They're not loud. They're not disagreeable people, but they don't ever address anything, even if they're upset about something.
Okay.
Nobody discusses anything, and like his daughter Amber is the only one who's like, this is all bullshit, and she will like poke the bears. But Kevin will just sit there and be like, nope, nope, nope. But his whole family is like that except for Amber. Amber's the only one who will say how she feels. But nobody, like your mom, your dad, like they're all like, everything's great. Everything's wonderful.
Every day is awesome.
that's how they come off. That's how you come off. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
How is that healthy?
You take all of your feelings, and put them into a little box.
Are you smoking a pipe?
I'm finishing my cigar.
It's a pipe.
It's a pipe, but yeah, when it gets down to like shorter, I've been testing this out lately.
Yeah, he said it works really good.
Is that something you created, or
when we went to Black Smoke Miami, and the women there have all these really cool like vibrant glass pipes and stuff, and that's what they put their cigars in.
You ever want to see the coolest cigar smokers? Go to a predominantly black event, and just these women, they're beautiful.
Kerr has a couple. What are they? The pokers or whatever those things are called that are really pretty, like the different to stick in to hold the cigar.
But these pipes, like I'm telling you, they had some amazing contraptions is what I'm going to call them.
I can't see you smoking a pipe with a cigar in it.
No.
You smoke a pipe or you smoke a cigar.
Listen, these ladies these ladies friggin' badass. Like just super cool, like
the girls the girls who made the pins for me, they used to go to a lot of cigar events when Duncan would hold them up here in South Carolina. And the consortium, that's the name of their group. And I got to tell you, they some of the most knowledgeable, like hardcore, like, you know, it's not a, hey, I'm smoking a flavored cigar. They're smoking the darkest, strongest cigars. Susie's just a fantastic person. That the whole group's the consortium is just a great group. I try and share as much as I can with them, just because they're very knowledgeable. And they do travel for events, and literally, I always loved hanging out when they would come down from Charlotte to South Carolina for the events.
Yeah, I will say going to Black Smoke Miami was one of the coolest events that I had ever been part of, just because, like, just culturally too, like, being able to experience that was awesome because, you know, we don't in the cigar industry, like everyone's like, oh, we smoke cigars, everyone gets along, but that's not always the case. Like there's definitely like divisions in certain things, but they shared like so much more knowledge of how their like culture with their like heritage and their music and other things that they were using, like at the Black Smoke Miami was just hands down the most coolest thing. Like I like we got to see like traditional like African dances and like their like headdresses and their costumes and stuff. I mean, it was just freaking phenomenal. It was all out.
And I really wanted to go down there because the African American cigar smoker is actually, you know, a rising demographic within the cigar community.
Female African American smokers,
female
fastest growing demographic.
Best.
And I didn't know how to market, you know, or if that was a you know, I don't want to say genre, but a group that I could market to. So we really wanted to go down there and check it out. And then I remember signing up. They're like, oh, can we know you and everything else? And then like I remember during one email, and I go, I'm white, right? I am allowed. I didn't know what to say. And like, yeah, you're cool, man. There'll be one other white guy there.
Right.
And that was Steve at Cigars Up. He was the only other white guy there.
No, there was other vendors there and stuff. But
yes,
like
Steve.
But what I found interesting was the feedback we got was like when we were there promoting our product and stuff was the color, like adding color to what we made was huge to them. They were like
to the women and nothing.
No, even the men said they wanted bright ass shirts.
At that event, the black men they don't buy a lot of cigars. Like they'll have like the really nice they'll carry one really nice lighter and one really nice cutter, and that's what they use all the time. But the women, like we had like the Zycar, like little single flame illums,
like pink
and all the different colors. They come up by
accessorize.
They accessorize with their outfits.
They come up by 5 of them for every color.
If I was a cigar smoker, I would buy accessories. Absolutely would.
No, but I found it interesting though because for me, I love like black or silver, like more earthy tone colors. Me personally, I veer away from really bright, loud colors. That was like the main thing. And when we decided to like fool with some of the cigar props, when he started doing the acrylics and stuff, like people were really into it. And I would never have thought that. And we got that good feedback. And that's kind of what
that's the thing. You
Kevin
take the
from
feedback.
Going away from the metal to doing the acrylic.
To your point is like, you know, how do you market? And I mean, and I know you guys know this, but it's be yourself, be genuine.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where being able to I spent a lot of time in Maryland a few years ago when I was traveling. And I used to travel to hit all the cigar shops. And I spent most of my time at Burnt Leaf Cigar. And 90% of the time I was the only white guy in there. But I say that just to prove this point. It was not even noticeable unless you were looking through a lens of color, because it was such an inviting environment. The owner's great, the folks hanging out there, the regulars were great. When I show up at the end of the day to sit down and do my work, you know, someone would have a bottle of liquor, someone would have some beer, you pass it around, you share. And I just felt that, you know, just being comfortable and being genuine, you learn that the one thing you learn is that you have more commonalities than differences.
Oh, absolutely.
And the differences that you have is, you know, like you said, it's going to be what you prefer, but your commonalities are really kind of crazy because you can relate this to certain things, and there's other things you can't relate to, but then you really listen with great attention to be able to learn and understand and seek to understand, because the people you're hanging out with are genuinely great people, and all the other bullshit that I always said, the cigar lounge is where you kind of check everything at the door, whether your race, religion, political views, whatever the case may be. Everything's checked at the door, and you come into a cigar lounge and you get to hang out with someone, and it's amazing that you can make so many friends when you leave that cigar lounge and be friends with them.
Well, I'll tell you from my perspective though, when I first started going around with Kevin to the cigar lounges or events, mostly men. I don't think any cigar lounge that I went to had any women smoking there besides me, or maybe like one other person.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that.
For me, and their wives were there. So for me, when we went to events, they were primarily all men, and the only women that were there were hired as like the eye candy, like the drink servers and stuff. They weren't cigar smokers. So when we went to Black Smoke Miami, that was really the first time that I saw more women than I did men.
Oh yeah,
and that
had a way better palate than most men.
For me,
was
like I was like, oh my god, like this is what it's about. Like for me, it was like a really great moment as a woman cigar smoker, because I hadn't really had that experience. There really hasn't been
I
any
can imagine
where we were going.
Very eye-opening, and
like Kerr said, you know, the African American woman, you know, at that event, the strongest, the heaviest cigars. Period. They weren't messing around with a peach flavored something or
Yeah.
or whatever. They wanted the strongest cigars.
And now the more we've gone out or places
Yeah.
I've gone, I've seen a lot more women cigar smokers, but still not like I did at Black Smoke Miami. Like I still have yet to gone to an event where there was almost just as many women as there were men.
Yeah.
I
remember the
believe
first time I went into, and it was a cool. And I've lived in a little bubble my whole life. First time I went into a black-owned barbershop, and it was predominantly black. And they were started carrying my product. I had so much fun, and I'm there for they're like, oh, we'll be with you. One guy, the owner was finishing up with a client, and then there's probably 6 black barbers in there, and I'm like, this is just like the movies. Oh my god, it was great, just the way they talk to each other.
Oh my god,
and the words they use. I had so much fun. I'm like, are we being filmed? Is this a movie? This is awesome. I love this.
When
I
I
want to stay here forever.
Graham, I struggled of how to kind of take care of his hair, and so I took him to any barbershop that was not white.
Yeah.
They literally taught me how to take care of his hair, if I was going to do it myself, what kind of product and stuff. Because Graham literally had the strangest kind of combination of hair. It wasn't quite coarse, but it wasn't soft either. And then as he matured and got older, it was definitely almost like a Brillo pad kind of texture at one point. So he would keep it really short. And one time he wanted to have a mohawk, and that didn't really work because his hair was so tight. And so even now, even as an adult, he just struggles with his hair texture because he's mixed. So it's kind of not straight, it's not curly, it's not an afro, but it's not, it's
my roommate in college,
weird texture.
Martin Smith, Smitty. Slick Smitty from the motherfucking city. He's a barber, and he used to cut my hair all the time. And I was in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia area. And I wanted to get a haircut, and I was calling. I couldn't find anything, so I found a barber. Yeah, come on in. So I drove into the area, parked, walked in, and it was an all-black barbershop. And it was everybody stopped and looked at me, and I said, hey, I just called about the haircut. He's like, oh yeah, have a seat right there. I'm like, all right. He goes, this is Mo, this is such a, and the man flapping his gums over there, that's such and such. And he's like, I'm not flapping my gums. I'm sitting here reading newspaper. Leave me. And they're going back and forth, yelling at each other. And I fucking had a blast. And when I worked there and I lived in that area, that's where I got my hair cut. Yeah. Just because it was
friendly,
awesome.
It was inviting.
It was awesome.
It was like Mighty Sharp from Coming to America.
But it made me feel comfortable. It made me feel at home.
But you know what it is? It's like being part of the community.
Right.
And that's the difference. You go to a lot of places, it feels sterile, feels cold, it feels uninviting.
You just take a number.
Right.
But you know what happened is, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was working in Warnersville, Pennsylvania, and I used to go to this barber shop right next to me. And it was almost like walking into the 50s, this barber shop, right? Guy's cut my hair, black guy walks in, and he says, hey, are you open? He goes, no, we're getting ready to close my last one. And he walks out, and he goes, I refuse to cut any blankety blank's hair. And I never went to him ever again, ever since then. Just because of that. It was the opposite of what I experienced going to the barber shop in Pottstown. The direct opposite.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, you idiot. First of all, I mean, whatever. I was like, whatever. I'm fucking done with you. And it was pretty eye-opening just how he handled it, but really what the deep-seated feeling was inside of him, that he felt comfortable enough telling me that just because I'm another white guy sitting there. And I was like,
which is not
dude,
okay ever.
not cool. Here's the money. Have a great day. Go F yourself. I'm done. I'm not coming here ever again. Adios.
But that's just it. It's you want to feel that's why we love going to small mom and pop shops or locally owned or run type of businesses, because it's a definitely more sense of community. It's a better feeling than a larger place to go to. But when you live in your area, like you should be around all different types of people because your community should be part of that. It's not just
Most
one little
definitely.
area.
And I always have a couple shops that I go to. I'll visit a bunch of shops, but if I'm in Pennsylvania, if I'm like near Philly, I make sure I go to Ned's in Newtown. Love Ned's. I mean, just fantastic place. I found out that a guy I worked with Enterprise Rent-A-Car like 20 years prior used to own the place.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah, I remember you telling me that story. That
you
was so
know,
good. Yeah.
It went to Twin City Cigars in South Philly, which was like a scene out of, a Bronx Tale. Just the way, the place next to it was this little Italian, privately owned. Anthony Renzulli owns the shop, and he has his own brand there. I think Espinosa makes his house blend,
Oh,
and
sweet.
it's a great cigar. And right next to it, he owns like a little, private bar and restaurant. My buddy Lenny DeTomo belongs there. And then, like I said, when I always go to Maryland, I always ended up at Burnt Leaf, because Leo, the owner, is just a fantastic guy. And they're all. What was great about Burnt Leaf is that, he was a lieutenant colonel. I think he actually went back for a little bit. Was a colonel in the Baltimore Police Department. So I'm sitting in a cigar lounge, mostly former cops or current cops. And I'm hearing the stories that they're telling me, and I'm laughing my ass off. I'm laughing my ass off at these guys because the stories they're telling me are great. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm in the safest fucking place in the world right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's packing, And he goes, yeah, I saw. He goes, I drove up. I see these, guys walking through the neighborhood, and I pulled up and I said, yo, man, y'all shouldn't be in this neighborhood. You know that. And the guys were like, you giving me shit. And he goes, I took my phone, I took a picture. And I said, you are my favorites now. I know you. You are my favorites now. And I'm hearing these stories and I'm dying. And I went up and did a Drew Estate event with them. It was right before the Pennsylvania barn smoker, whatever they call that.
Yeah.
And they had the party the night before. And I had a blast. It was fantastic. Antoine, Leo, everybody up there. Gosh, I'm blanking right now. But who's the guy who used to work for Drew Estate?
Jesse?
Used to work for him?
Yeah,
Or?
big dude.
Jesse.
No,
No, not Jesse.
No, Jesse
The other
Flores.
Oh,
Dirty Fabian.
yeah,
Oh,
Fabian.
Fabian Ziegler.
Yeah, Fabian. I interviewed Fabian at that event.
Yeah.
He sat down. The nicest dude you ever
Yeah,
want to meet.
he's
Very,
so nice.
super knowledgeable too.
so nice.
Just really had a blast.
He's hilarious too.
That's where I met.
a really
I
funny
gotta
guy.
send him a text tomorrow. I haven't talked to Fabian
Yeah.
in months.
That's where I met Caesar Bell. He's a comedian
Yeah.
out of Baltimore. I went to go see one of his comedy routines, and he just busted on me because I was the only white guy in the freaking audience. So of course, And then my buddy, I took Frenchie, my buddy I played football with, and he's like, "Yo, man, he ain't busted on you too much, man. Why is that, dude? You're the only white guy in here." And I'm like, "Oh, Caesar and I are buddies, But
funny.
just a blast. I mean, it's such a great time up in that area. I liked hanging out in Baltimore, and there's so many great shops up there. But Burnt Leaf is literally Randallstown, Maryland. If you ever, they moved. I haven't been to their new location. They grew, but if you ever get up there, if you ever get up around Baltimore, make sure you stop there. That is literally a hot spot.
Yeah, it's sad because Graham was stationed in Maryland, but COVID happened, so he couldn't even leave the base when he was, first stationed there for his AIT school. So he never got to see anything
Really?
of Maryland. He was like, "This sucks," because he would have had. Because once you get leave boot camp and you go to AIT, you get weekend leaves. You can go and do stuff. They were quarantined the whole time.
Wow.
What was that
There.
really? There was like right 2 blocks from Inner Harbor. It was like this freaking private club where the downstairs was like this private men's clothing. The second level was like,
Oh yeah, I don't remember the name
like
of
you
it.
get manicures, pedicures, your hair
Oh,
done,
yeah.
and then the top was this ridiculously huge. The very top was this ridiculously huge bar and everything, and then right below it was this cigar lounge you can hang out. And I think I paid $20 to hang out that day,
Yeah.
but it was beautiful,
That's
but
awesome.
but still very elite and very kind of like, oh, can you please park my Maserati around the street?
Yeah.
You know, but you know, and
To be honest, I don't do well at like the higher end lounges and stuff. Like I don't feel comfortable. Like Kevin likes to drag me sometimes to places and I'm like I don't feel comfortable, like I don't fit in. And it's not because I don't feel like I can relate or have conversations. It's like that's not our lifestyle.
Yeah,
Like we don't drive a brand new Porsche and get a valet to park our
when I
car.
was just up at
Not judging people who
Yeah.
do that. That's great for them. It's just so outside of my.
but it's
You know what-
interesting to
what-
experience that though. It is interesting
I
to
have
experience
multiple
it.
times.
Yeah.
It
It
is.
makes
You know,
have anxiety.
when I was at Corona last weekend, you know, a guy pulls up and he's got a Lamborghini SUV, and those are pretty rare to have one and to see one.
Nice.
And pulls it up out front, and he gets out pretty, you know, obviously a well-dressed guy, and
Right.
you know, I'm like, that guy's probably gonna be a douche.
No,
And then
probably not.
we end up talking. He was a great guy.
he's
Where
pretty
you know,
nice.
sent me
I don't think these people
a
are
connection,
rude or bad.
You know, just I don't know. You know, sometimes you know,
I don't-
I just get that, but then. He sat at the table next to us, wanting to know, you know, all about, you know, these.
Yeah,
now
that's
we're
all
friends
fine and
online,
dandy. It's
yeah.
still it's.
But you don't know
grew
their
up-
background.
Right, but
Yeah,
I grew up on a certain side of the street. That's kind of the place you were put in as a kid. Yeah, everybody had a section of where they grew up, and ours wasn't very nice, you know. And we just, you know, you just stayed in your lane, and that's kind of. I know it's wrong. I shouldn't feel that way.
The issue. The problem is you, Jessica.
It is. I'm
not the
saying
guy
it's-
in the Lamborghini
I
or the
didn't.
Porsche.
That was Kevin who said that. I just said I remember growing up and like you know we never really had to like go outside our family for friends. I mean we had a lot of cousins and you know we had a
31.
working farm.
Yeah.
We had a working farm and stuff. So we you know when I made friends in high school with a couple girls, I remember going to their house and they had money and like I used to go there and I actually felt kind of like I was a dirty person. Like I wasn't clean or like I wasn't good enough to be like because you know their family dynamics was just different than mine.
Yeah.
And so it's always kind of like having like really nice things. Like I work really hard for the stuff that we have, so do you. But like I earn all of that. You know what I mean? Not saying those people haven't earned it, but we still don't have the nicest stuff, you know, like we still have to be very practical and everything. And I don't think I don't deserve to have nice things. I don't know, like that's a whole nother level.
We just
you know,
choose,
that's just a whole nother level.
We just choose to have a lot of cigars.
yeah, but
well,
I mean,
there you go. It's
but like
Well,
when
your
I go,
priorities are different.
but like when I go to places like that, like I would never pay like $200-300 for any pair of jeans ever in my entire life. I won't. I will never buy a purse that costs that much. Me
Well, I
personally. Yeah, I'm just saying me personally.
I would for a
Maybe you guys
purse.
are going to talk
I-
offline on that one. That'd be
I
really great.
Jeans, no, I wouldn't
I'd
buy
appreciate
spend
that.
that much,
I
but
just
purses,
don't
yes.
care about that stuff. And so that's where I also feel like I don't fit in.
But you know
I
what's
don't
fun?
care about the, you know, it's more
Like,
of
I'll
how
be-
it
I
looks.
see-
and
I see a lot
the
of people
leather,
wearing
and
these,
it's
like high-end designer things, and I'm like, that's not my taste. It's not my thing. So
But
then
I
when
was-
we go to these events, I feel so out of place because I just
But just be yourself. That's the thing.
I am. I still go
Well,
as
see-
myself. I'm not good.
But
my
you got to
source
deal with that internally though, Jess, because
Oh,
like
God.
where did I go? Where did I go in Jersey when I met my buddy up there? That cigar shop.
oh, you went to that.
Well, I'd say shop. It's like the freaking
was that-
greatest understatement
It
I've
was
ever
that
made.
private restaurant and club.
A buddy I went to college with. He's freaking
It was
Lacey Township, Jersey. Blah 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 blah. Got involved in business. Has done very well for himself. Right. I mean, it's a good buddy of mine. Supports the
What's
shit
the
out of
name
it.
of the restaurant?
Well, I cannot remember. You gotta
can't-
Google it. But
I don't even know if I can find
I
it.
mean, I sat next to him in the freaking locker. If all 4 years of football, great guy, just was very successful. A couple of guys I played football, same thing within the company. Said, hey, I said I'm in Jersey, working. He's like, yeah, come on by the office, and I'll take you over to the cigar club I belong to, and we'll have dinner.
Was it in Red Bank?
Yeah, it was in Red Bank.
Lamal,
Oh, that's where my
Royale
aunt
is the
lives.
social club.
Le Mall Royale.
Okay, my aunt lives from
And-
Red Bank.
and I'm
Red
like-
Bank's not that big, so.
And I'm like, all right. So I went over there, I met him, and this guy, he always buys cigars from me. I mean, always. He has big golfing events for his company, and he'll be like, hey man, I need some cigars. I go, what do you? I said, well, I have boxes of 10. I goes, yeah, I'll take about 30 boxes. I'll take 40 boxes, like in a snap. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I sent him, he goes, man, these are great. He keeps buying from us. So I was like, yeah, I'll follow you over there. So I'm following him in his Maserati, you know, and I'm in my rental Taurus or whatever.
Yeah.
And we go to this place. And I'm like, wow, this is freaking very high end, very private, very freaking, you know, and we're sitting there laughing like we did in college, you know, goofing around, you know, talking about the same stupid shit. It's just that he got to the point where he's successful and can afford these things, but he's still the same guy. Mm-hmm. So when I see someone pull up in, like Kevin said, a Maserati SUV, you know, that could have been freaking family money, or it could be a guy who just freaking hit it and made it big and worked
that
his balls
wasn't my
off.
issue. That was Kevin's thing. I don't care.
As he
if they
sits
drive-
back with his pipe and judges.
I know. The pipe
I'm
just
like,
makes me
that
laugh.
wasn't even
It looks like
my
a corn
thing.
cob pipe.
That was Kevin's.
Tell me more, Jessica.
He looks like what's his face, Gandalf the Great.
Yeah, that's what it's.
He does.
First off,
You-
I've never seen it.
You must not go past here.
I know who that is. Yeah.
Oh my
Hobbit.
God, Kevin.
Well, here,
Lord of the Rings.
I'm going to send you something, Kevin.
You
'cause
ever
I know
read
you'll
the
like
books?
this.
God.
The line must be drawn. No, you shall not pass is what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shall not pass.
I've heard that.
Throwback.
Oh, a throwback. Look at that old one.
That's
Yeah,
awful.
this isn't the freaking boxes of Ditkas anymore. This is, I bought this at a place in Colombia probably 6-7 years ago.
Wow.
Wait, was it 6-7 years ago? It was a while ago. It was probably a better part of 6 years ago.
Wow.
Oh, look at that band. How cool is that?
That was that's old Camacho.
This is, I think, the original throwbacks that they came out with was the you know, with the Ditka. They still have them, but there was a number of there was like the coach, the player, and stuff
Yeah.
that came out in these individual coffins. And I bought this along with like Camachos from like 2010, 2012, you know, the Liberty series. But this is like one of the original throwbacks.
Wow.
So I'm
That's
interested.
crazy.
I'll send that to you. I know you're Camacho. I know you like the old Camachos.
The Camachos.
Yeah, you
I'm
know,
the same
and,
way.
Yeah, the old and I do like some of the new stuff, but it just doesn't have that. It just doesn't have that bite, you know, that I'm looking
When
for.
when we first started dating, that's pretty much like all you smoked for the longest time.
Yeah, I smoked a lot of Camachos. Yeah.
Yeah, the old
A lot.
Camachos. I'll tell you, I find the old Camachos. I buy them up. I mean, they're just, if you smoke Christian Arroyo's stuff now, it has that reminiscent of the old of the original Camachos when they owned it. You know.
Yeah, because I remember the first time I met Tom Lazuka. You know, they had just sold, and they had just started Asylum, and he had told me, he goes, yeah, we sold the brand, but we didn't sell the farms.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
You know, yeah. I
Just
said,
the name.
Yeah.
we're still making, you know, the cigars. You know, we still own the farm. You know, we still own the tobacco that we've been making for
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
forever.
I mean, that's like for some people, the name is really all they want.
Yeah.
Like we have a friend who the tattoo shop. When he bought it, he just bought it because of the name, like
Yeah.
to keep the name.
Yeah, they
No.
bought the name and they rebranded it the way they did.
Yep.
But the tobaccos, the blends, and all that stuff still was with the Arroyos. So if you know you smoke Christian stuff now, it's the same, you know, the same stuff as the old Camachos.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I'm more into what Justo blends versus
Yeah.
Christian. You know, I think I like Justo stuff a little bit more. You know, so now Jen, do you get out to a lot of the events, or you know, with
I-
Kerr, like locally, or do you shy away from events?
Unfortunately, with my work schedule, it just never worked out. But no, I actually haven't been to any events. The only one I went to was down to Ocean Springs when we went down there.
We went to
for
Ocean
a short
Springs, and she went to
But I wanted to go just for a road trip.
the Fuente. There was a Fuente event a couple of years ago that they were holding up at the Tobacco Plus that got canceled.
No, but
that?
I met Steve Saka.
No, you went to Saka's
I
event.
went to Saka's event.
Oh,
a couple of
nice.
years ago at Tobacco Plus.
Yeah, he went to. She came to Saka's event.
I went to Felix Mesa,
Mesa's event, and then
but that was early on.
And we went to a Fuente event when they were doing the collaboration, I think, with Newman, for the fundraiser.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I still have it.
Cigar Charitable Foundation.
I still have the cigars in there that we bought. It was like from 2 or 3 years ago. They canceled the event because I think like Charlotte got hit with like a hurricane or something crazy like that. It was really bad weather, but you've gone to a couple events.
A couple,
with me.
not recently.
You've gone all the Dunkins.
Yeah, like when we lived at our old house, I think we went more. But I can't recall in the past since we had our cigars.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of events I hit, I was either traveling or, like Jennifer said, she was working. But we always supported Duncan when he was at Tobacco Plus and went to a lot of his events. And I mean, it's, it depends on what the event is. They had a Rocky Patel event at Tobacco Plus. She didn't show up. I showed up to support Duncan, did a couple of things here and there, blah, 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 and left. But Felix Mesa, because, we got to know him, and we went out to dinner with him, and he came to the house, and we were hanging out, drinking coffee, and smoking cigars out back. And when Saka came, that was a big event. So, we went to go meet Steve and hung out for a bit. Yeah.
That was quite a while ago.
Yeah, God. I think he had just had 1 or 2 of his blends that he had just released. God, which one did he just release? I can't remember anymore.
It was probably, has to be at least 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, if he's only had a couple releases, that had to been 2012 and sooner. So
that was he had God, I can't think of. You're a Steve Saka fan. So.
I just remember
what was his first release?
Coffin from him, but
I don't even know what would have been his first release.
His Mi Querida.
I mean, I think the Mi Querida and the Sober Mesa are his oldest lines.
The Sober Mesa, I think it was the release of the Sober Mesa because I have the Sober Mesa coffin with him. He signed it.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
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 I want to say the Sober Mesa came first.
Yeah, I can't. I if I had to guess, I would probably say it was either Sober Mesa. I'd have to say Sober Mesa, Umbagog, Mi Querida.
Yeah.
Was all.
The Umbagog wasn't out yet. I remember the Sober Mesa because I remember smoking it and thinking, man, this cigar almost has like. I was telling him, I said it's like a self-cleansing palate. Like you smoke it, and as you're smoking it, if you set it down, you don't have any aftertaste. It really is just a very clean smoke.
It's a great cigar.
Yeah, he is he's definitely a good blender. Definitely,
he blends cigars for his palate.
A master
and if other people have that palate, great.
Yeah, it's always funny when he does these videos explaining his blend for JR or whoever online, and because people have said to me, Kevin, why do you always start your, hey, I'm Kevin from Cigar Prop, and I always say it like, we know who you are, and I'm like, I actually picked that up from Steve. Steve will make 100 videos, and every one to this day. He'd be like, "Hi, I'm Steve Saka, and I am a master ligador with and I'm like, I'd always, always picked it up from him. Just always says his name. And
I don't know
who
because
he
you
is.
never know, like new people that come into cigar smoking might come across, so it's kind of important to say who you
like,
are.
I would like to go to a barn smoker when they do come back.
Yeah, I have
because
to.
I'm interested in just how things are done and the history and. I may not smoke cigars, but I like the process of it and learning.
Let me tell you, you will get so much knowledge.
I would probably say 25% of the people that go don't smoke cigars.
Really? And that's the other thing too. A lot of people bring their significant other, male or female, because there are some females that just smoke and not their husbands, or significant others. that go to these events, which is kind of cool. You know,
It's kind of cool because they'll come up to Jessica because you had some of the wives come up to you and it's like, oh my God, I don't smoke. I watch you and Kevin all the time.
Yeah.
Like they'll come up to Jessica.
And
oh
I'm
my God,
thinking,
and they don't,
oh God.
like my husband will be listening to a video and then she'll be like, is that Jessica?
Yeah.
and they'll come over and they'll.
Has she
Because you
killed
guys are superstars.
Well, or has she killed Kevin yet?
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people was like, oh, how's Jess gonna treat Kevin today?
That's funny.
But
Poor Kevin.
yeah. Poor Kevin.
Poor Kevin.
If people realize, if anyone realized though what I actually put up with, it would be warranted. My outbursts, my anger. You have no idea.
I am not an easy person to live with.
He is not easy
not.
at all.
Yeah.
At least you own it, Kevin. I mean, because realistically, you could easily fight back on that.
So how's the fight, Jessica?
Actually, it's pretty genius.
I do enjoy it. I really have been enjoying.
I think that's
you
pretty
smoking
badass.
a cigar in a pipe.
No.
I could do it.
The last person I
think
saw
might
smoke
go
a cigar
get
in a
myself
pipe,
some,
I was in high
accessories.
school. And we used to go to this guy. We're underage and he'd sell us beer. Right? He would sell us beer. And you'd go in the back and his mother, he lived with his mother, and she's an old lady and she smoked cigar butts out of a corncob pipe.
Oh yeah. I've seen that. I've seen people do some interesting stuff. Oh man, we used to get people to buy us Mad Dog.
Mad Dog 2020, that's the best. That
God,
Cisco.
the blue flavor, the grape.
Blue
blue.
flavored.
Yeah,
We
they
did
had a
Glen
blue
Farms.
flavor.
Go grape or go home. The
Grape was
original,
my
the OG.
favorite. Yeah, the grape.
The
It's
grape.
disgusting.
That's the
But
OG.
If I had that now, I'd probably throw up.
Oh yeah,
I saw
definitely.
a meme the other day and it was like a whatever grape soda. It's like the grape soda. It doesn't taste like grape at all, but it sure the hell tastes like purple.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
What was it, Aftershock or something that had like the crystals in it?
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
like,
the aftershock. Yeah.
oh my God. Whew. That's
I never
stuff
got it.
makes
That
me
was all
sick
high-end
just
liquor.
thinking about it.
Screw that. I either did shots of tequila, and then everybody did Jägermeister.
Well, Jaeger bombs.
I used to do the I can't remember what they called it, but it was Jägermeister and Rumpelmans together.
Ugh.
Oh, what was? I wonder what that was called.
I don't know. We had a Goldschlager back in the day. Oh my God.
That's just like freaking
We used to
swallowing a
I think
cinnamon
all
ball.
that stuff was like concocted because it was underage, so it was like whatever you could grab and like try to like
Do you remember
make
Three
it like
Wise Men?
no.
That's just should never be in the same glass, let alone
I'm
in the
like,
same.
no.
It's like Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, and Jose Cuervo.
Ugh.
See, we used to all drink because when we were all,
Oh,
when we
I
were
mean,
all
the
like,
Jose Cuervo I
yeah,
could do.
when we were all like 18,
Everything
19, my first wife Mary was 21.
Yeah.
So
She was
so
younger.
she bought us all whatever alcohol we wanted. So by the time we turned 21, drinking was nothing new,
Oh God,
new for
no!
us.
I had been drinking way before that, and I
Yeah.
still, even after I turned 21, was like, let's do this. Drinking never got old.
Yeah.
My 21st birthday, I think my buddy and I had a beer at home, and that was it for my 21st. My 20th birthday was a nightmare. That was like doing shots of Southern Comfort.
Oh, I love
And
Southern Comfort. though.
I can't drink it anymore. I've had two
Oh.
bad experiences with Southern Comfort where I woke up the next morning in a room full of puke, and it just not
Wow.
good.
Eh.
If you open a bottle of Jägermeister within 20 feet from me, I will throw,
Really?
I will
I
throw up.
can't smell it either.
Oh,
I
I
drank
like.
it a
I
lot in
could.
college.
I honestly would like to do a Jaeger bomb. I
No.
love that.
No.
Well,
But-
for me, Kevin's lucky because like he does. He has to like rein me. I would be a hot freaking mess. I would drink everything and anything. I don't care.
Yeah. But
She-
Amber for her, my daughter, for her 21st birthday, we had it at the Celtic Ray, an Irish pub. They gave us the entire upstairs
Yeah.
and everything. But yeah, so I think it was Bobby's mom's boyfriend or something. Like, oh, at the end of the night, we're all gonna do shots. So they're pouring up shots.
You
of
actually did that.
like, yeah, like shots of Cuervo. He was buying just cheap.
Why can't I get fun, Kevin?
Yeah, so Cuervo,
Kevin.
and then so he's like, we're all doing shots of Cuervo's for Amber's 21st birthday, and I'm like, no, I go, no. I go, her first shot, and that was really her first shot. I go, it's not going to be Cuervo. That fucking piss tequila. And as I told the bartender, I go, Amber and I will have a shot of Patron. You know, like her first shot's not going to be some garbage tequila.
Listen,
it's going to be.
You have to, man. That is the rite of passage, bro.
Yeah,
you have to have Cuervo or mezcal.
No.
That
Listen to him trying to
burnt wood flavored with the worm.
Yeah, worm flavor.
I know.
You have to. You have to. I mean,
he's always micromanaging like people. Like he tries to micromanage
That's why he's the executive.
my fun.
Padron's scary.
Yeah,
because I've had Padron.
That's what he did not like me at Black Smoke Miami. He almost left me.
I would have probably because I know Padron because it's tequila.
Oh yeah,
it just doesn't have that nasty tequila taste to it. It's got like a hint of tequila taste to it. And then I remember doing Padron for the first time, and I went, wow, because I don't do the lemon and the lime and the salt and shit.
Yeah.
I even when I did Cuervo, no, right?
Yeah, the training wheels,
right? And I did it, and I was like, man, that was pretty smooth. Let's do another one, and that's where it gets you, because tequila just not. I'm either fighting or I'm naked.
Yeah,
you know, so we were after Black Smoke Miami, we went back to the hotel room. Graham was with us, so Graham and I are in bed sleeping, and then Jessica's in the bathroom, just everything is coming up. So I'm trying to sleep, and then Graham looks or says over to me, he goes, "Hey, you gonna go check up on her?" I go, "Nope." I go, that'll learn her.
Yeah,
you know. It did not learn
the
her.
The booth next to us was the bar.
Yeah, the bar.
And so one of the serving ladies kept going when Kevin wasn't looking. She'd be like, boop, and I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, he started mixing all those liquors, man.
No, it wasn't. It was the same. It was Patron. But I had tequilas. A lot. When I say that it wasn't like 1 or 2 shots, I think I probably had at least 8 or 10.
Oh my god.
And we barely ate because we're working the event, so it was a lot. Graham kept going. He's like, Kevin's gonna kill you.
That's because you get to the point where
Kevin's gonna kill you.
When you're drinking it, and you're like, okay, I'm really good right now. I feel really good, and then your just decision-making process just leaves the building.
Yeah,
it says, I'm out of here. I got my hat. I got my jacket. I'm gone, because you're gonna really feel like you can have more shots, because if you feel good and it tastes good, it's not. The one thing about shitty tequila is, at least as you get older, after a couple shots, you're like, that shitty tequila, I'm done. You know, when you're younger, you're like, it's tequila. This is awesome. This is great.
It's great.
But Padron is like, it does not let you know it's shitty tequila, but the effects are still tequila effects.
So anytime we go anywhere and like we're having like
can't do it.
Margaritas or tequila or anything, he like limits me. Not because of that incident, because of other incidents where
I think I still have a scar on
where
my
he says that I tried to fight him. No, that's not really what happened. I was trying to show him how to actually wrestle correctly, because he was trying to
how to fight.
Is that what she calls it?
My brother was an all-state champ. He was a wrestler.
Did you take
that's all
him
he
down,
did.
Jess?
So I was trying to show him the correct way. Yes, I heard
Well, she was trying to
apparently.
show me when I wasn't prepared.
And that, okay.
I wasn't ready.
Right.
I wasn't ready.
All right.
I tell everybody. So Jessica turns into, when she drinks too much, she turns
tequila.
No, she turns into the Notre Dame Fighting Irishman. She's like this.
When I drink like tequila and stuff like that, that's not. I'm the best person.
Come at me, bro.
I'm like awesome. Yeah, I'll fight you. But like Kevin also said that like I tried to like attack him, like rip his clothes off. I don't remember any of that.
Yes.
I don't think that. But why would you argue with that? Wouldn't you want that?
No. No.
If it leads to something better?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That should tell you a lot, folks.
Yeah.
Kevin doesn't know. He doesn't know if you're trying to rip his clothes off or freaking give him a double chicken wing. That's kind of
Yeah.
Listen, I've never seen Kevin. One time I've seen him a little sloshed, but I wasn't with him. He like came to my apartment, and I was like, I missed you being fucking drunk. How?
Yeah, it wasn't
the
really
hell?
drunk even.
You were
a little tipsy.
That's the only time I've ever
had
a little glimpse of
the last time
Kevin
I got drunk, I
too much.
threw up on fucking Jägermeister.
That was how many years ago.
Like I still remember it like
You
it was
never
now.
forget.
So
Yeah.
nobody's telling you to get drunk on Jägermeister now.
That did it for me right there.
Listen, I
Jägermeister.
love that feeling of like
About
that
to puke?
buzz. No, that
Yeah.
buzz, that whole like. That's the one thing. Like, and it takes a lot like of other alcohol, but that like any tequila, it's like that. If I
can't
want
do
to
it.
if I want to feel it, I should drink tequila more often.
I'll drink scotch. And I like drinking scotch because it's kind of like a mellow,
Turn it
Yeah.
into Ron Burgundy. Scotch.
more or less. I mean, that's exactly what it's like.
I love scotch.
But tequila's just like I mean,
Yes, tequila is.
I don't even go near it.
Yeah,
it's just
I don't
too
either.
many
I'm
bad-
not allowed to.
too many bad experiences. Going to May Day at Washington College. May Day, and my buddies were telling me this in college. I was like, we got to go to May Day because I did school in Delaware. And Washington College was a couple hours away, and one guy had a farmhouse there. And they're like, yeah, the 1st of May, everybody walks around school, naked. And then they have a big naked party. I'm like, come on. Yeah, I can't believe this. Well, we drive into Washington College, and we drive in, and there's 2 guys pitching golf balls on the front lawn naked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, maybe this is true. So we go to this freaking farm, and we're hanging out. We're drinking tequila, and we're drinking, and they're like, we're going to go to a party because they're having these 2 big dorms. They're having a big party in the middle. I'm like, are they going to be naked? Of course they are. So we show up. Everybody's naked. They have this big freaking tarp down the hill, and they have a hose at the top. So everybody's doing these naked slides down the freaking hill. My buddy got into an argument with a guy, and they said it was the funniest thing is I had this guy, I grabbed him by his throat, and I was choking him in the bushes, and I was naked. They said it looked like Bigfoot was fighting someone.
But how funny is it just to see 2 grown-ass men?
He was not naked though.
Oh, he wasn't.
No.
naked.
Hair was naked.
Just, but like certain people were like, some people were naked, some people were not.
Oh.
So it was just, and I'll never forget. I left and I came home and I lost my boots, so I had to come home barefooted that night or the next day. But that was one of the craziest things that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Just
It's
naked
fun.
people, and
fun.
I was naked.
Just think, you would have missed out on that if you didn't drink some tequila.
I think that's the only reason why I decided to partake.
Yeah, that tequila makes
And
you feel
stupid.
so good.
No, dumb. No. I realize tequila intake lowers
Yes,
everything.
it does.
It makes me stupid.
But that's just okay, because like Kevin's such a control freak. Someone has to have like the ability to let go, and that happens to be me. So
It's like
we
yin
we balance each other. But we have tequila, and I don't open it. I don't really seek it out. I just know like
Because
there's
Kevin
times-
replaced it with apple juice, so he doesn't have to wrestle you.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. He's like, she went to
Water
the
it
bathroom.
down, yeah.
Burp. No, but I don't seek it out. I just know when I have it, it's gonna turn into something. So I just don't do it.
No.
That's the one downfall that I have is tequila.
No.
I could pretty much drink anything else and I'm fine. It's the tequila that gets me.
It's bad
I
news.
like me, but apparently Kevin does not like me.
Tequila gives you that ability to really like yourself when everybody else is like, what an asshole.
I'm the best on tequila, but according to him, I'm not. So, I just stay away from it.
No, I don't drink it. I refuse to drink it. The closest I've come to drinking it, is that the right way to say it? Drink it is Dewar's has a new scotch out that was finished in mezcal barrels.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Do you not like margaritas?
I'm not a big, fruity drink, sweet drink
Yeah,
person.
I like some margaritas
Yeah.
though.
No.
Like
I
if
like
we
mar-
got to dinner, and depending on what type of restaurant, like I'll like a sangria with it. But
Yeah, she gets
you'll
sangria and stuff. I'll
you'll
get
a
beer.
beer.
I just get beer normally. I'm a beer guy. I like beer, and
Yeah.
we eat sushi. I love sake.
Mhm.
I love me some sake,
I love sake too,
but
but
sake
we
is
don't
another
get
one
to eat
too.
it like that.
That sake is
Kevin
another
doesn't-
one that'll sneak up on you though.
Sake is awesome. My brother and I are when we like to go to the hibachi and stuff, we do where they squirt the sake into your mouth. You just sit there. And, you ever have them do that?
Yeah. But I've heard someone go,
But
you get less hangovers with sake because the way it's it's
like
properly
moonshine.
and done. And I'm like, the worst hangovers I had were on sake.
Really? I've
the
never had a
sugar?
hangover on sake.
I know it's the amount I drink. I think is not the sugar.
Have you
in it.
ever had that beer that they serve? Oh God, what is it called?
Singapore?
Huh?
Sapporo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Takata?
Do you like it?
Yeah, I drink that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I find it to be a real, like, almost too hoppy.
No, I like hoppy stuff. I just,
do you?
Yeah, the
I don't
sake though, it's not the sugar in it. It's the fact that I drank like 10 of them,
Yeah.
and then I always feel like I got like hit by
God,
a
now I
car.
feel like I have to have some sake. I haven't had sake in a long time.
I feel like I got hit by a car after I drink sake. And if you know what's really cool is they what the hell is it? Is it Maduri? It's like a it's a like a currant or liqueur.
Okay.
Chambord.
Yeah, Chambord.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I've had it where they put a little bit of Chambord in a sake.
Oh, I've never had that.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's literally, you might as well just freaking, get a cart and just say you're going to cart me home, because that is just fantastic stuff.
Great. Now I got to try that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like crap.
Tried it. Just one night.
It's good though, but I'll tell
You'll
you,
survive.
sake's. I'll have a sake, a small one when we're out, but that's it. Because if I keep
I
drinking
don't
it,
do. I now when I was younger, I did it a lot.
Oh,
but
yeah.
now if I'm out, I'll just do a small one. That's it, and then I
used
drink
to,
water.
I used to buy a bottle of sake from the liquor store, and go home, and I had a sake set and heat it up, and I
Oh,
would.
that's awesome.
Oh, but the next morning, I always felt like I got hit.
And then you feel like every
hard.
just dry. You're like cracked. Like
No.
I need water.
I had shit sore me I never knew existed. That's how much I was hungover with that
Because it
stuff.
sucks all the salt and water
Oh.
out of your body. You're like, "Ugh."
Well, I think on that note,
Kevin's looking for a break in the sake conversation to end the
Yeah.
conversation.
we've been
It's
on
like,
for
stop giving her ideas.
Yeah.
Not like I haven't done all this shit
know.
myself.
So it's been a couple hours, and we once again we had a great conversation.
Always, it always
Absolutely. Another
It's
great
all- it's all-
episode.
Another great episode. I guess we'll leave it with I'm Kevin.
I'm Jesse.
is. I'm Kerr,
I'm Jen.
and remember, bullies
Bullies
make
make
good
friends.
friends.
From Kev, Jess, Kerr, and Jen, we are the Broadleaf Bullies. Thank you for joining us, and remember, bullies make good friends.